everybody. Here we are.
Hey, there we are.
To another Tuesday night sketch op with me and my silent life partner is off screen right now. He's in the middle of something, but he's going to be back with us as soon as he can. So welcome to anybody new. Welcome to everybody old. Welcome to Aaron Lopresti. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, ready to rock and roll. Yeah, it's been a good week. It's been good times. I'm glad to see a bunch of people.
My Quint shark shirt on. My wife got me for my birthday, so there you go.
Oh, nice. Well, happy belated birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well,
I quit counting birthdays about 18 years ago. So
that's all right. Listen, once you get to be a certain age, it's like I just being my daughter, so it's like unless I want her to, give her money to get me a present, those days are long gone. It's just So I'm right there with you. But again, like I said, guys, we're just going to get right into it. You guys know what it is. Aaron's going to be doing $150 busts. They are 9x12. Aaron, is that right? Or
that's right.
9x12.
9x12 on tan paper, so it seems really classy. Ooh, and I'll be doing 7 tonight. That's how much I got. So
yeah, listen, 7 pieces of paper, 7 sketches. So you guys know
how it works.
Wonderful. So unless something happens where the internet crashes or his hand breaks or something, we're going to go for 7. So
let's hope the old hand doesn't break.
So listen,
I need this baby.
Off screen, I have to wait for him to throw the claim up. So I have no idea when he's going to throw the claim up. Now, if he doesn't throw the claim up in the next couple minutes, that means he's really busy, and I'll just say it. But you have to wait till it pops up. So Aaron and I are just going to shoot the stuff while we're waiting to see if Ken throws up the claim. You guys just have your trigger fingers on
my hat. What do you think of my hat?
Very nice. I feel like you should play golf in the 1920s. That's what I like. That.
My wife got me 3 of these for Christmas. So I've got this one, I got a brown one, and then another one that she says is sort of kind of greenish, but it looks gray to me, but I don't know. Maybe I haven't had it in the right light. So I've got a hat for all color, whatever I need. When I'm going out, I can really wear the gray one, the brown one, or the these are, I used to wear baseball caps all the time because, let's just face it, when you don't have any hair up here in the wintertime, it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I'll class it up a little bit with one of these babies.
I'm a ball cap backwards guy. I haven't quite moved on to the, maybe I'll do a bolo at some point and really class it up.
There you go. You go.
But, well, someone wants to know, does a bust include arms? I don't. Let's just say it goes. It might include shoulders.
Shoulders and
a literal bust possibly.
So pick a character that has it has a face that you would recognize, like the Vision, for example, or something like that, where you get the collar and you get the face.
Doctor Strange, you might get a little Eye of Agamotto or something. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look at that.
Galactus, those kind of guys.
So let's see if we get more than 5 to start off with. Otherwise, we're just going to do a straight claim if we get 3, if we get less than 3. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get some claims. So, and the claim is up. Let's find out. So far, Dustin's the only one who's chimed in. Here we go. We got Rogers chimed in. If anybody doesn't have a piece by Aaron, you are just missing out because I've got like 3, and they are top notch.
That's right. You're missing out. And thank you for all the birthday wishes and the greetings in the chat. I appreciate it, guys. And all the way from Italy. How about that?
Nice.
That's right. Trace my ancestry to Sicily. Never been there, but my grandfather came over on the boat and fought in World War I, right from Sicily.
Nice. All right. Well, let's see. I'm gonna call it in about 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, my time, not 10 seconds. Whoever's listening, because it'll be long over by then. So I got 4 claims right now. We're gonna call it 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, done. We're done with it. It's going to be Dustin, Roger, Nicholas, and Christy. So we're going to do a wheel spin. So let me make sure Ken gets those if he's got time to throw those on a wheel and throw it on the screen. Once again, Ken's in the middle of something, so he's kind of listening off screen, but he's got something else going on. So I don't. He controls it. He is the master. He's the watcher with fingers on the button. So.
There's another good. The watcher would be a good.
It would be a great head. Yeah,
love the watcher. Might even throw a little space effects behind his head. How about that?
Nice. Sorry, Jason Harris, you just missed out, buddy. I already closed it out, but keep tuned because Aaron's going to do. He's going to do at least 7 pieces tonight. So that's what we're going for. So let me see if I can get a wheel spin from Ken here so we can get this thing going. Sorry, we're going a little old school, low tech here. We actually, a lot of stuff's been going on in the last couple hours, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to do the show, but we weren't going to disappoint Aaron, and we weren't going to disappoint you guys. And I was in no matter what, as long as Ken could hit those buttons. I was in. So let me see if I can get him to do a little wheel spin. Let's see. Hold on one second. This is so professional. This is how we do it here. It's always top class.
You got to get one of those little twister spinners so you can do it yourself.
Exactly. I'm sure I've got a what is it? What was the game called? Twister. I mean, I'm sure I've got Twister around here somewhere. I can just put people's names on the colors.
Yep, and just spin that baby.
Yeah. Ken is fine, Jason. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just business stuff. So, he look at that. He threw you on the spin, Jason. Isn't he nice? All right. I guess you're on the spin, buddy. All right, let's spin it and see what happens. Here we go. Boom. Any minute now, he's going to spin this. I tell you. There it goes. There it goes. Now we're spinning. And I think Roger's
going to get it.
I think Roger's got it. Excellent. All right. Roger Ash, you have won the claim. So please let us know what character you would like. And I'm pretty sure Ken, at the top of the comments, put in the Google Doc. So tell us what your character is and then go fill out the Google Doc so we can get you all set up, get your order all in, and get the invoices all straight and all that stuff. So just tell us who you'd like him to draw, and we'll get going. Howard the Duck. Wow.
You couldn't have asked for a better. That's like
the headshot. Right?
One of my favorite characters. And unless you'd asked for Man Thing, maybe that would have been a little bit better. But Howard the Duck is awesome. Okay. Well, let me switch to my drawing camera so you can all watch me draw this. I think I've got it plugged in now. There it is.
Oh, look at that. We got picture. So I hope everybody's doing all right tonight in the chat world. If you have any questions for Aaron, always feel free to ask. Definitely don't make me big. Make the sketch big. We don't need to see my ugly mug on that big screen. But Howard the Duck, I can't wait to see this. So, Aaron, you just had a birthday. Did you do anything fun for your birthday?
No, my wife was sick, so no one would come over because they were afraid she might have COVID, and I don't blame them.
Oh yeah.
She didn't, but now she's sick again, and but it seems like it's a relapse of what she just had. She didn't really get fully over it. Hopefully that'll be all right. But no, so I had my 90-year-old mother lives with us, and I made her make me a cake, and so me and my mom and sat down there by ourselves and had cake on my birthday. So nice. It was, I'm not trying to make anybody feel sorry for me or anything, but it was a very, very mild birthday. So.
Well, it's all right, Roger. We'll have Ken throw up that Google Doc as soon as he gets a second. So don't worry about it if you can't find it. It was all the way at the top, but if you just logged in, you may not be able to see it on Facebook or on YouTube. I'm not sure how that works exactly if you weren't already on the show when you threw it up. So don't worry about it. We'll get it up there for you, and then you can fill it all out. But let's see. We just ordered a bunch of COVID tests thanks to the government today, so those should be here in 7 to 10 days. So we got those coming in. That's something people love.
Things. Well,
yeah,
that's good.
My brother and I were joking. We'll be like, we're going to take them to the airport and sell them for like $100 a piece.
Yeah, exactly. Well, be like during we had that crazy toilet paper shortage, right? It was like everybody was opening up their garage and going, "Hey, I'll sell you some toilet paper."
Yeah, All right, listen. I remember when that was going on. I went to Target and I found 3 rolls of you were talking the dollar toilet paper, like the ones that, you pull twice and the roll's empty. And I found 3 packs of those. Each one only had 4 rolls of toilet paper in it. And I went up, I got them off the shelf. And then somebody had walked over and just as I was there and they were looking, and I was like, I don't need all 3 of these. So I gave them 1. And then I made the mistake of walking through the Target instead of just going straight to checkout. And all of a sudden every person looked at what I had in my arms and ran to the toilet paper section. And I was like, I can't carry these around. I got to get out of this store. I'm like,
it's so funny because I couldn't get any. We didn't run out, but we were getting very, very close to running out. And I went to the pharmacy where I know the guys that work in the pharmacy, and I was like, as I said, you don't have any toilet paper at all. And he goes, well, we got a little bit of kind of a stock, a little bit of stock in the back, he said. So hang on a second. And he went and talked to the store manager, and the guy comes up to me. It was like I was doing a drug deal, man. It was like, I mean, it really was. It was so funny because he goes, all right. He goes, we got some in the back. He goes, do you want, he asked, he goes, do you want Charmin, or I can't remember what the other one was,
right.
And I'm like, whatever, I can't remember, and so he comes out with this plastic tub that is, you can't see through it. It's like it's a dark plastic tub, right, with a lid on it. So no one could see what I had.
Right.
And he goes, he rings it up. I pay for it. It was just a, like a 4-pack, right?
Right.
And so he says, take this out to your car, put it in your car, take the toilet paper out, and then bring me back the tub. So, I mean, that's literally what I had to do. So no one would know.
Right. Oh, listen, same thing here. We didn't run out of toilet paper, but we were getting kind of low because we didn't overreact. We just,
Right.
we did the normal thing. We just bought our normal amount. In hindsight, we probably should have bought a little bit extra, but not a whole lot extra. Welcome, Ken. I'm just going to finish my thought, and then we'll say hi to you. So I had to go. So then they told me that they had this thing where they would for the older community, and you take care of your 90-year-old mom. I take care of my 91-year-old mother. So I went to the grocery store, and I was told you guys get shipments, and they come in the morning, and if someone is a senior citizen and they come in, before that first half an hour they're open, they can get some toilet paper. And I was like, do I need to wheel my 90-year-old mother in here, or can I just come in and get some for her? And they were like, no, listen, we've seen you in here with your mom before. You can just come in. And literally the same thing. Like I went in there and I asked, and they said, no, they didn't have anything. And then I started, and I was like, wow, I got up so early for no reason to get here to get this toilet paper. And then I started to go home, and then someone's like, hold on a second. And then you see them talking, and they're talking. And then the guy goes in the back and he pulls out this, I mean, it was like an industrial sized thing of toilet paper. And it was like $28 for this huge thing. I didn't even need it, but I was just like, the guy's he's doing me a solid. So I was like, I can't turn it down now. I wanted to spend $5 on 4 rolls of toilet paper. And now I've got enough toilet paper to last me for the entire pandemic. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll buy it. Thanks.
Well, I mean, every time I go grocery shopping now, I pick up a roll just so I can stay way ahead of it in case it happens again, or pick up a package.
Aw, she didn't know we were live, did she, Ken? Ken just got a nice hug from his lovely wife, who had a birthday. She had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Renee. Thank you. Ken, how are you doing tonight? All good?
Yeah, better than I was 20 minutes ago.
That's good. Yeah.
Aaron, I'm sorry, buddy. How you doing?
I am good, Ken. How are you?
Yeah, shit hit the fan on me before we went on the air, so I had to.
That's what I hear.
And I was trying to run the show without hearing what was happening, so I was hoping everything was going good. Who got the claim anyway?
Even with you not here, and me and Aaron having to do it and not knowing when the claim was going to come up or not knowing when anything was going to start, it still was nowhere near our worst show. I'm telling you, not even close.
It's early.
Yeah, not even close.
It is early.
So Aaron's
I want to hear about you guys. I want to hear about your guys' trip to see Frank Miller. Did that ever happen?
Oh wow, you haven't been on in a while, have you?
No.
We had a lovely trip to New York, where halfway up to New York, they canceled on us.
Oh.
So we ended up finishing our trip to New York, met the reps at a hotel, gave them our stuff, and then turned around and came back. That was pretty much our Frank Miller thing. We ended up getting the Frank Miller pieces, the majority of them. I think we still have like 1.5 pieces that are still owed, but otherwise everything turned out all right in the end. So.
Well, that
And-
sucked. You guys,
You know, it is. Listen, we're supposed to have another one with him in late February, early March, in person in Florida, in Tampa, I think. So we're gonna we'll just try it all over again, see what happens. You know. But I wanted to tell Ken that you're gonna. He told us we're good for 7 drawings tonight, Ken. That's it. He's got 7 pieces of paper, 7 drawings. That's what we're going for. You're muted, just in case you want to talk, but you're good.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to.
come on, Ken, get it together, man. Get it together.
Who won that last claim?
Yes. Oh, I need to. They couldn't. If you throw the Google Doc up again, please, because we couldn't. They could not access it earlier. So
It was
Roger won, and he's getting a wonderful Howard the Duck. Look at that. He's going to have a cigar in his mouth. You know. What's that line? Once you go duck. I don't know, something.
Is that? I don't know if that's how it goes.
And then we were waxing nostalgic about the days of toilet paper shortages.
Let's try this. See if this works.
Hey, there it is.
I'm eating my dinner while we're doing it.
So you're gonna do these pencils and inks or just pencils, Aaron?
Pencils and inks, of course.
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Pencils.
It was a question somebody had and I once again we didn't get I didn't get all of the information right away. So from Ken, because we got a little strapped at the end there. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't promising people things that they weren't going to get.
Ken seems to be a little deficient with the information tonight. I'm not sure.
We had I knew. Listen, he told me everything in advance, but then what size you were doing, the prices and stuff. But then, when the fit hit the shan there at the end, I didn't know all details.
Brian, what I missed? What?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
from my end, everything's running smooth. I don't know what your guys are talking about.
Exactly. Avi, we know. Yeah, he put the Google Doc on Facebook and on YouTube, so hopefully he'll be able to access one of those. Thank you, though.
If you can, let me know, and I'll do something.
We'll do it old school. We'll just do it through Messenger and email.
We'll do it live.
We'll have you mail us a check in the mail, a physical check. We'll really go old school.
Yeah.
That's the good old days right there. I refilled all my blacks just before I came on too, so
nice.
Hopefully there will be no
Thank you for doing this again, Aaron. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
what's that?
You're such a fan favorite with the 4C group. You know what I mean? It's we all love it so much.
Well, thank you guys for continually inviting me.
Oh, listen, yeah, like I said, you're definitely one of our favorites here to have on. Conversation's always good. The art's great, and everybody just loves you. So kudos, my friend.
Are you going to be doing any conventions this year?
Why is that glowing out on me?
It's a little bright. It's a little bright.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm supposed to do San Diego, but we'll see. Sorry, here I've got a. Why is that not?
You're going to be in San Diego.
Yeah, listen. If you're in San Diego, we'll be there. You got to come say hi.
Or we'll come shout at you.
Well, I generally I have a booth with I share with Terry Dodson, and I generally.
That's perfect. Oh, you had it.
Well, actually, you know what? The problem is the reason I started doing stuff on this tan paper is so that the reflectivity of the light wouldn't be so great.
There it is.
That pad is absorbing the light on you, I think.
Yeah, you just need to do it on the board. Just don't do it on the pad. They're perfect.
All right. We'll see if that
hopefully that won't affect you.
If that'll hold true or not, because I was going to kill the lights. Because when I draw in the dark, it actually looks pretty good. I can't see anything, but you guys can.
Well, I think it's more important for you to see the art than for us to see the art.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know beyond that. Sort of fly by the seat of my pants a lot on that stuff. I used to be, well, I mean, we all used to treat things a little bit differently before all this pandemic crap, but we I don't really plan too much ahead these days. So, and it's being right in the middle of my project that I'm working on, Wraith of God. It's like it's like my focus is getting that done, and so I'm not even really thinking about any serious traveling. Of course, if someone invited me someplace, I probably would go. But
well, I think we're planning on doing quite the tour this year, so maybe we'll have to maybe we won't wait for those shows to extend an invitation. Maybe we'll just invite you to come hang out with us.
well, if you guys are like you say, you're all over the place, so it's I'll probably have a wide variety of options, wouldn't I?
Absolutely, we're I think we're doing everything from coast to coast this year, so and a lot in between, I'm pretty sure. So you can definitely we'll find a flavor of fruit of what is it? What's that gum called? That used to lose its taste after like 5 seconds. Was it Lucky? What was it called? Come on, somebody out there, tell me what it's called.
Wrigley?
No, it was. Come on, the fruit one with the zebra on it. No, fruit stripe. Fruit stripe gum.
Had the zebra, whatever.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, I was trying to say we'll find a flavor of fruit stripe for you. But yeah, no, that gum was the gum you could chew for 5 seconds. It was delicious, and then it was just rubber in your mouth.
Yep, I remember those days. They fooled me a couple times. I finally got wise and quit buying it. But
no, when you're a kid, you just kept putting more sticks in your mouth, so you had the whole package.
That's right. Oh, that's right. So your jaw hurt, right? You couldn't even hardly talk.
Right. It's a big wad.
Is the Kickstarter still open for Wraith?
It's an Indiegogo, and it is. It is in the in-demand feature. So yeah, people can still go and back the book if they want to get in on it.
Nice.
If you've seen any of the pages that he's doing, it's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. It's
Times on his.
I got kind of should we say ballsy with it, and kind of going in a little bit very different. Not so much the drawing. I mean, I draw how I draw, but the finishing, the inking is a lot rougher than what I normally do. A lot of cross hatching, a lot of line work and stuff that I wouldn't normally do in a regular comic. Well, because it's a Western, and I kind of wanted that sort of spaghetti Western sort of feel to it,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been a lot of fun. It's been challenging though, because I'm, people that are familiar with my work over the past, couple of decades, it's pretty slick, pretty finished stuff. And here I am doing stuff that's much rougher. And I'll finish a page and go, wow, I need to clean that line up. Oh, I need to clean that line. I just have to catch myself and stop myself and say, no, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. And so overall, I'm real happy with how it looks, but it is funny when I get in there and do it a little bit looser, like I'm doing, in the sketch or something. It's like, I just have this built-in desire to go in there and clean it up, and but I'm fighting it like crazy so I can maintain the look I want for the book, and I think it's working really well.
Yeah. Are you going to color it also?
No, I am a painfully slow colorist. I don't know how any of these colorists make money, but I guess if you do it long enough, you get pretty proficient at it, and you can kind of get that technique down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could spend days coloring a page, and when you're getting like $125 to color a page, you don't want to spend days coloring something.
Right.
So I have somebody working on that, but
Is he gonna do digital or traditional?
digital.
I don't think
See, if I was painting a book, holy crap, you know how long that would take?
Yeah.
I'd never get it done.
Ken, Roger says that he found the Google Doc on YouTube, but it's not accepting any responses. So,
All right, we'll just go old school. The one I claim, Roger.
yeah, Roger Ash, yes, sir.
Okay.
What the heck's going on with this Google stuff, man?
Listen, we're trying to get through this 24 hours. Ken has had a day, and it's like one of those things when this 24 hours is up, everything goes back to normal. But this is the kind of thing where he turns around and stubs his toe. You missed it, but right before we came on, the fire alarms went off in his office. Like, I don't know, it just started beeping like there was a fire in the house. This has been his day, like that, just everything, So we're just trying to get through this Tuesday, the 18th, and get this done with, and then we're gonna be fresh start tomorrow. So, and I disagree, Brett. Big League Chew was different than Fruit Stripe. Big League Chew was so soft and gooey, you wouldn't even chew it till it became gum. You'd just swallow it. That's what I remember about Big League Chew. Very flavorful though, and held its flavor a lot longer than Fruit Stripe did.
Yeah, the Fruit Stripe stuff was terrible.
Oh, I mean, they literally just made like gum that had no flavor and just sprayed each one with some flavor on the outside, just so when you first put it in your mouth, sort of like an old bartender trick. When somebody tells you their drink's not strong enough, you give it back to the bartender and he pours a drop down the straw and then gives it back to you. And then you drink it and you're like, oh my God, this is the greatest drink I've ever had in my life. It's because you think it is, because you had one drop of vodka go straight into your mouth. But yeah, there you go. I'm telling you all the cherry trade secrets here from back in the day.
Well, see, it's a good thing I wasn't much of a drinker, because I might have got ticked off if I'd known that. If I was getting robbed on my,
that's how. Listen, you said sometimes they got to. Sometimes people don't know the difference between a good drink and a bad drink, and
that would be me. I would have no clue.
Let's see, Ignite Gaming. We don't have a claim up yet, so a little premature on the claim, but I like your gusto, and I would type that back in. Only just keep your finger over the enter button and don't hit enter yet on your computer, or send on your phone, or whatever device you're on. You can reach us on phones or computers, people. We're everywhere. Tablets. Oh my God! Claim. I hope Ignite took my advice and re-upped, because there it is. Let's see. All right, I got Jason. I got Dustin. Come on, we got room for 3 more guys. Come on, who's still out there? Let's go. Oh, he got Ignite Gaming game back in. I like it. We got 3. I got 2 more spots on the wheel. 2 more spots. Oh, Christy Misty's always good. And Nicholas. And that is our, wait, hold on. I want to, Chuck White. I missed, sorry. Chuck White is in there. I got to do this. I've done this before. So it's Jason, Dustin, Ignite Gaming, Jason Harris, and Chuck. I apologize, Christy Misty. Yours came up, but then it reordered itself to the proper order. So Christy Misty and Nicholas, you guys just missed out for this round.
So Chuck, Jason, Dustin, Jason Harris.
Jason Victrola, Jason Harris, Dustin, Ignite Gaming, and Chuck White.
Right. Well, there's always another claim to be had, right?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. He's got 7 pieces of paper. This is just one. There's 6 more left.
He's gonna break out the sketchbooks.
Listen, we're not going to do no index cards. He's not going to draw on the inside cardboard of the actual sketch pad. I don't think we're going to do that today.
Yeah, I'll have to see what how long before my arm gives out. I've been drawing all day, so it's like
you're a pro, man. You got wheel?
Yeah. Hold on one second. I just want to go through one more time and double and triple check. Facebook user who's asking if your claim showed up. The only thing I have for you is, was my claim showing up? I did not get a claim for you. I don't have a name for you either because you haven't given StreamYard permission. Maybe you're Avi, maybe you're somebody else. I don't know. I can't see your name so I just have you as Facebook user, but I did not get a claim without a name. So these are my 5 that are up there. So I apologize for that. I don't know why we didn't get your claim if you claimed, but it is not in my claim chain. I did. Christy, Misty, and Nicholas just missed out, but that's the only 6, 7 claims I've got. All right, Ken, you are good to go. Spin that wheel. Look up, Chuck. It is Chuck White in the house.
Crowd goes wild.
All right, Chuck, just let us know what your character is so that when Aaron finishes this masterpiece, he can get started on yours. And then I guess the Google Docs aren't working tonight, so we're just going to do it old school. So just send us a message to the 4C Facebook, or you can email us. Either way, just so we can get you your
if you're a past customer, which I think Chuck is, and Roger, I know Roger is. I have their information. It's no big deal.
Yeah. But Chuck, yeah, man, we're just waiting to find out who you want, buddy. You got to have the polka dots. Polka dots are key for a Howard the Duck Tide.
I think so. I think they are.
If you've never purchased, I'm almost positive Chuck did though.
Yeah, but if for anybody who doesn't know, if you've never purchased from us before, we just usually we have Google Docs you can fill out that will give us all your relevant information. For some reason, they're not working tonight, so we're just going to do it old school, and we're just going to we'll send you a message. Chuck White wants Garbage Man.
Wow, that's a great call right there.
Nice. Let's see. I guess that was Avi who was making a claim. Let me see what we got here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have that anywhere on my screen, buddy. So I don't know what is going on. Or am I a liar? Because now I see it.
Only you can answer that.
Yeah. All right, Avi. You know what? I'm sure some. You know what I do? I do have you on here. Let's see.
Original Harley Quinn
or Hawk Girl. Yeah, I did not see it originally. I apologize. But you know what that means?
We're going to give you 2 spots on the next wheel.
You get 2 spots on the next wheel. That's what that means.
You don't even have to claim it. I'm going to go automatically.
Yeah, we're already going to do it for you. So if you get one, then he's going to take a pick between Harley Quinn and Hawk Girl. If you decide not to get it, then I'm keeping it. So don't even worry about that. Well, I don't know why Avi and StreamYard have this adversarial relationship where he just refuses to give them permission to see his name. He could just be stubborn like that. I don't know. But yeah, sorry, that got lost in the shuffle.
I do have something very serious I'd like to address with everybody who's on right now.
Sure.
You need to go to CAF and vote for my pieces.
Boo. I want you to vote for whatever pieces you guys like. Remember, 5 choices in every category.
No. Go find Ken Carson's pieces. Okay.
Listen, you never know if Ken Carson's pieces are going to stay Ken Carson's pieces for a year. They could be in somebody else's collection.
Ooh, wow.
Listen, he's always trading up. Ken loves something until he doesn't.
No, not those pieces. I do get bored of things. Though.
He does. He loves it more than life itself. And then he's like, is that the piece? Is that the piece? Move it on. Next,
those pieces are the pieces, though. If I sell those pieces, that means I'm trying to pay bills.
Yeah, listen, I'm just going to tell you seriously, go to sketch covers and convention sketches, scroll down, and if you don't think my piece is worth a vote, you don't have to vote for it. Personally, I don't think anybody doesn't think that this piece right here doesn't deserve best in show right here. This wonderful still freeze. If anybody wants me to pull it closer, just to give you an extra look so you vote for it for one of your top 5, I can do that. If anybody doesn't think that that's worthy.
I'm going to show them my still freeze.
Oh yeah, Ken got his still freeze thanks to Anthony at Anthony's Collectibles, courtesy of Dueling Dealers.
So, yeah, I mean, anybody who knows me, apparently I'm the Hulk guy. I didn't even know it. So Anthony had this piece. I wasn't really watching it, but Jeff told me that there's a beautiful Joe Fixit.
Yeah, look at that.
I made an offer to Anthony, and I got it today. And then I look at it, and on the side, it's inscribed.
Lower. There you go. Upside down.
It's
higher.
inscribed to JD.
Oh, what? Oh my God! You're getting that for me?
So Jeff's going to give me the She-Hulk, and I'm going to give him this.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we're done.
No, I need multiple stealth freezes, I guess. I swear I didn't know that had my initials on it when you bought it, Ken. I swear.
Yeah, Ken, you should buy this piece. Hurry up. Offer him this much.
Hey, you wanted to offer him more. I talked you down.
Yeah, because you knew it was inscribed and didn't tell me.
So what is this? I see ads for this dueling dealers. Is that like an auction type thing, or what is that?
Well, no.
Sorry, I missed the question. My computer froze for half a second. You said you've heard of what?
Dueling dealers.
Oh yeah. So basically, what it is Bill Cox on Comic Art Fans, like the rest of us, started up on a lot of live shows. And what he does is he has Mike Berkey and Anthony from Anthony's Collectibles, and they make it like a prize fight, and they go back and forth, and they do every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. They do back and forth selling art, and then they try to see who wins. Who sells the most art at the end of the night, and it's just a fun way for people to get access to art and to do it in a. They put it up for a certain price, and if it doesn't sell at that price, they do a recap or they lower the price on it. So it's just kind of a fun thing. You get to interact. It's kind of like this, where there's a lot of people in the chat. People are talking, and Bill's hosting, and Anthony's wife gets involved, and she makes like a cake. They have like a cake break in the middle, and every week she has a different cake that she's gotten very good at making cakes and stuff. So she makes some really cool designs and stuff. It's just a really fun thing. Listen, we have a great relationship with all of the other people who have live shows. We pride ourselves on saying there's enough out there for all of us, and we have a really good relationship with Bill. He's been on our show before. Ken was just on last Thursday promoting our charity auction. We're going to start doing on the first Tuesday of every month. We're going to be doing a charity auction with the Cartoonist Society Fund. We're going to have cartoonists from that society are going to come on, and we're going to donate 100% of the proceeds to that charity. And we're doing that we'll try to do it the first Tuesday of every month, but at least once a month we're going to do that. And Ken was on Bill's show on Thursday advertising that. So that was pretty fun. And our first guest on February 1st is going to be
Tom Richmond.
Yeah.
The president of the National
Cartoonist
Society.
Yeah, he is. He's the president of the Cartoonist Society Fund and the charity, and he's also a heck of an artist who was on Mad Magazine, and so he's going to come out and do some stuff, and we're going to have. I mean, they have a slew of artists. If we were talking about guys we could get, who are possibilities to be on, and guys from somewhere from like Stan Saki to Jim Davis, Garfield. We don't know. It could be endless the amount of guys, and it's all for charity. We've been wanting to do something for charity for a while, and it's just a good opportunity for us to kind of give back a little bit.
Well, it sounds like a blast. That's cool.
Yeah. But the Dueling Dealers thing it's pretty fun. Ken and I have bought several pieces on Dueling Dealers, and we've probably sold a little bit of art to both those guys that they probably resold on Dueling Dealers. So it's kind of,
Well, I have a real terrible comic book addiction. So it's, original art is so expensive. It's like you kind of have to be committed to it. And I'm more committed to buying comics than I am original art. So I never end up really getting a lot of original art. I have some pieces, but I'm so nostalgic for old comics that it's.
Oh, listen, I think a lot of us collected comics before we went into art, and I think and there's different addictions and different the thing about the comics is you can kind of finish with that with the art. You can think you're done, and then another piece pops up, and another piece pops up, and another piece, and you're just like, because that's the thing you're collecting. Say you want a full run of Spider-Man. I mean, there's a lot of Spider-Man books, but once you get caught up,
Right.
you're done. You just got to keep up.
That's the interesting thing is I'm finding excuses to buy comics because I have just about everything that I can afford that I want. But I enjoy buying them so much. I'm always like, well, that's a pretty cool cover. I should get that, kind of thing.
Exactly. Well, I guess the next thing when you're collecting comics is trying to get a higher grade one. I guess that would be trying to upgrade your collection. And artists, people who collect art do the same thing. Maybe somebody who gets a remark wants to get a head sketch, then they want to move up to a bust, then they want to get a torso, then a full figure, then maybe they want to buy a published page. I mean, there's always ways you can keep collecting, and we're all addicted to something. We all love this industry, so we'll always find stuff to do. Heck, Ken and I wouldn't have 4C if people didn't buy art.
I'm signing this baby. Hey, this might be my first sketch of
2022.
22, I think it is. Look at
Nice.
that. All righty, there's Howard.
That's
We'll put him over in the
finished pile. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
there you go. Some tonal stuff in there. I didn't even know if I was going to do tonal, but I did it. So there you go. Start dropping in those lighting effects, and what are you going to do? Got to do it right or not do it at all. All right. So what's next?
I'll be your garbage man.
Oh, that's right.
I'll take out your junk. Sorry, so that little Scott Pilgrim song caught in my head.
All right.
Nice.
My character.
That's right.
What happened to my pencil? That's a good question.
But yeah, in all seriousness, guys, vote for She-Hulk on the Comic Art Fans best of sketch / sketch cover category. Convention sketch / sketch cover. Right there.
There we go. All right. Oops.
Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate it. Yes. I do love the Scott Pilgrim. So for anybody who doesn't know, tell us about the Garbage Man.
Well, it's a long and sordid tale. When I went over to DC from Marvel, one of the reasons, one of the things I talked to Dan DiDio, who was kind of the guy who brought me over, was, I wanted to do some writing. I didn't want to take over a series or anything, but if I had some projects, that I wanted to do, that I wouldn't get a bunch of resistance about it. He's like, oh, that's cool. I don't care. And I said, all right. And he goes, in fact, he said, we need, he goes, I want a new monster character. He said, because Swamp Thing was in Vertigo or owned by Vertigo or controlled by Vertigo or however you want to phrase that. Mm-hmm. And he, so he couldn't get Swamp Thing back into the DCU. So he wanted kind of a monster book to kind of take its place. And I said, Dan, that's right up my alley. Let me see what I can come up with for you. So I came up with this concept of this lawyer who works for this law firm that is employed by a pharmaceutical company. And he accidentally stumbles on some incorrect behavior going on, and so they figure they'd be better off getting rid of him, but not before they did some experimentation on him and then blew him up. And his remains ended up in this kind of a landfill waste area for this chemical plant, and of course turned him into Garbage Man, which is he's a bunch of soil and toxic chemicals and just whatever happened to been in the dirt that and so it's kind kind of a traditional monster story in the sense of, like Swamp Thing or something like that. And so he's then he has partial memory, not full memory of, who he was or, what happened. And so as all this stuff starts to come back, he starts to piece together his past and wants to, of course, get even with the people that did this to him and, hopefully get changed back to being human in the process.
Right.
And these experiments they did on him also, they had been doing on other people for a while. So there's like a variety of monsters roaming the landscape that were created by this same mad scientist that worked at the pharmaceutical company. So he runs into these creatures along with, as he's trying to get his revenge and find his place in the world. And so it was originally going to be its own series. And then Dan got, I guess, cold feet and said, no, you know what? Let's just do it as a mini series. And I said, okay, that's fine. Let's do it as a mini series. And so, I started, as I was working on the scripts, at first they were full, 22-page issues. And then it became the miniseries. So I'm like, okay, so now I got to do something that's going to fit in 6 issues. And then he comes back and says, no, you know what we're going to do? We're going to run this as a backup story in the Batman books. And I'm like, okay, fine. And so then I had to start thinking of it in terms of shorter increments, the story arcs and things. But I thought, you know what? If it's in the back of the, Batman and Detective, well, a lot of people will read it and see it, right? So yeah, that's not going to be bad. That'll be fine. Well, then he comes up to me and says, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to have this miniseries, this anthology miniseries, which is probably the worst thing you can do if you want to bury a character. And so anyway, I ended up doing 10-page story arcs through a 6-issue miniseries that was an anthology miniseries. So it had a story by Kevin McGuire, and then it had a Lobo story by oh, for crying out loud. That'll come to me in a minute. But anyway, so this was just one of 3 stories in there, and so that ran basically through 6 issues. Then we did a second miniseries like months later, and it was called My Greatest Adventure. So it was Weird Worlds was the first miniseries, then My Greatest Adventures was the next. And so it ended up being a 120-page story, with these 10-page story arcs. But the thing is, they weren't well connected in the sense that people understood that, that there was another miniseries coming in the next, 3 or 4 months. It might even have been 6 months before the next miniseries came out.
Yeah.
So, people would pick up My Greatest Adventure and they'd be right in the middle of this and they'd go, yeah, I read that Garbage Man thing. It was pretty cool, but I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, well, that's because you didn't read Weird Worlds, which, it was just really not very well conceived.
Yeah.
So anyway, to make a long story even longer, they gave me the rights back to it because I created it as a creator-owned property that DC would then license from me. It was a weird way I was set up, but that allowed it to be in the DCU functionally, but I still had ownership of it. But DC would never have to relinquish ownership. Basically, they paid me a one-time licensing fee of $2,500, and they could use it forever. But they had to use it. And so shortly after I started this, I was about halfway through, Dan got the rights back to Swamp Thing from Vertigo. So he's like, yeah, we really don't need this anymore.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I finished it, but, they never used it again. And so then when the time elapsed, they just gave me the rights back to it. So, and then I tried to crowdfund it as a trade paperback with some new material in it and didn't really go well. and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I wasn't. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, again, which it's too late now for that, but so it failed, and so then I took it to Dark Horse, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll do it." And so they gave me just enough money to get because Batman was in the original story, so I had to take Batman out of it, obviously.
Right.
Put in some more of my own characters, which I did, and so then it finally just came out in November in a trade paperback with the new material featuring the new characters from my universe. So how about that?
Nice.
So I got a certain amount of copies of it, like close to 500 copies I ordered from Dark Horse, which I then sold through my Wraith of God campaign as an additional book people could get signed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but I sold out of them, and so and I can't get any more. So they were available on Amazon, and local comic shops could get them. I don't know if they still can when it came out, and but yeah, there's still some floating around on Amazon and places like that. If people are interested in finding it, because like I said, I'm out. I have just rolled out of the copies that I ordered from them. So, which is exciting, because it's funny when I tried to crowdfund it on its own, I couldn't give it away. And then I put it in this other campaign and it sold, remarkably well. So,
yeah.
But there you go. There's it's the Garbage Man story.
It kind of was like a Rosie the Riveter kind of story. Like you helped them through a rough time, and then they got the other one back, and they were like, "All right, go back in the kitchen." Thanks for helping us through. We appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the door. Don't let it hit you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least they kept me employed on other things, but yeah, it was kind of and it was interesting because I didn't really spend that much time creating the character. I kind of wanted to do an ode to Wrights and Swamp Thing, which is exactly what I did, but I wanted it to be, I wanted it to be its own thing, obviously. And but then as I started working on it and got more and more into it, it got more and more developed and became a much more interesting concept than originally what I thought it was going to be. And so, at that point, you're kind of like, well, I want to do more with this, but now I can't. But now I can, since it's back into my hands. But yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to actually have them do something with it and get like an action figure and things like that of something you created. But, I guess I'll have to make my own action figure, which maybe I'll do.
Hey, listen, man. Now they got 3D printers out there. You could make an action figure of yourself.
That's true. And actually, I know guys that'll do it like relatively cheaply.
Yeah.
Make a Garbage Man action figure. That'd be cool. Yeah, I might do that.
There you go. There it is.
See, if I hadn't come on here, it wouldn't have occurred to me. That's right. If I hadn't come on here, it wouldn't even have occurred to me.
That's right. We're like the muse, All right.
So I told David Williams I was coming on here, and I'm surprised he hasn't shown up and given me any grief. He must be busy.
He could be there. He could be lurking. You never know. He's in the shadows, David.
Yeah.
He comes out when you least expect it.
He's a little bit. He is a little bit like Batman.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, David's been on sabbatical for a little while, so we'll hopefully get him back on sometime. But he's been doing his own thing, and we wish him all the best all the time.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So, Ken, are we on your phone now?
iPad. My computer's took a shit.
Yeah. Like I said, mark it in your books. January 18th, 2022 is not Ken's day.
Well, at least it's all happening on the same day, right? So it's not going to get spread out on you, and it's going to be like a bad month or something.
Yeah, listen, if it gets over tonight and he doesn't have another bad day for the rest of the year, that would be nice.
Well, the night's young. You can get worse.
That's it can always get worse.
That's the spirit. One thing about drawing this character is you get to, depending on how inventive you want to be, it's kind of like, what do I want to stick in his, coming out of his arm or out of the back of his head?
Right. Because he's literally a garbage man. He's made out of
That
garbage.
you can put anything you want in there.
Avi, going to bed. Ken doesn't solve anything. He doesn't sleep. This guy.
Sleep. What's that?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Since my
let's see. Sorry, go ahead, Larry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say since my my daughter's been in this is her second year of college, and it's kind of funny since she I was no longer responsible for taking her to school.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't getting up at 7 or 7:30 anymore, and I've been recently, like the last couple months, I've been like sleeping until like 9:30, and I'm just like, I can't figure out if I'm like, is there something wrong with me, or am I just not motivated to get out of bed? And then I was doing the math last night, and it finally dawned on me what the problem was. We got a dog that he feels the need to be fed in the morning anywhere from 4:30 to 5:30 in the morning, right? And what he does is he wakes up and then comes and just kind of lays across you and growls until you get up and feed him, right? And so what's been happening is, regardless of what time I go to sleep at night, which is anywhere from 10:30 to 12:30, depending if I'm working on something or whatever, and so I go to sleep and maybe I get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then the dog wakes me up to feed him, right? So I'm up at 4:30 or 5 a.m. or 5:30, whatever it is. I get up and I feed him, and then I lay in bed for like 2 hours trying to get back to sleep, and I don't actually get back to sleep till 6:30 or 7, and then that explains why I'm sleeping till 9:30 every morning.
Oh yeah,
My dumb dog's fault.
yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing here. Like I get my daughter up for school, and then usually I'll get her up, and then I've got 45 minutes to kill before I take her to school. So then I just go back and lay down. I don't know why I do it, because it's not like I can go back to sleep for 45 minutes.
Right. Yep. But you figure out if I can just get 5 more minutes, somehow I'll feel better. And you really don't feel better,
The whole world is better with 5 more minutes of sleep, right?
Oh, you convince yourself of that anyway, but
yeah.
So yes, I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think if I could just get him to like stay asleep till like 7 a.m., I'd probably be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I can do that. He's
Listen, there's a reason why we walk dogs and they don't walk us. They lead the way. They're hard. They make it like we're training them. Really, they're just training us.
Yep, that's exactly right. Because the greatest fear I have is, if he needs to go out, and I don't get up to let him out, I'm gonna have a mess to clean up that I don't want to clean up. So you're like, okay, I'm getting up.
Linda Craig says you need a dog feeder with a timing system.
Wow, now see, that's smart thinking right there.
Yeah.
But I'd also then have to put a doggy door in someplace so he could go out.
We have a doggy door in our bedroom, and then go out into the patio. And then we put a doggy door on the screen so he can go outside.
Yeah.
Well, see, our backyard, we have a sliding glass door in the back, and those you can do that with a doggy door and a sliding glass door, but it's kind of a major project, and I don't know that I really want to, because you have to actually add, like, they have like this glass panel you can put in there, and then it has the door in it, and then the sliding glass slides up to that panel that you put in.
Right.
But I'm
And
like,
then where do you live again, Aaron?
Oregon. So
Oregon,
it's like,
yeah. See, that's the difference too.
cold.
Ken lives in Florida, so he can leave,
Right.
and he's not worried about losing any heat or cold or letting in, and
Yeah, but you're letting in snakes and stuff, aren't you, by having that?
oh, snakes and alligators, right? That's all. They're all over the place.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, when I lived there, I was like, there's no way. We didn't have a dog then because it probably would have got eaten by a gator. But because in our development, we had a couple of retaining ponds, and there was a gator that I don't know if it was just one or several that were moving through them, and so they were always around, which I thought was cool. My wife thought it was kind of horrifying, but I thought it was cool. But it was the bugs that ultimately got her, mosquitoes and stuff, because they always seemed to make a meal out of her. They left me alone pretty much, but
Yeah, mosquitoes actually prefer certain people, which is weird.
well, I think women generally smell nicer than dudes do, so maybe it's the perfume or whatever they're wearing that might draw in the extra attention from the mosquitoes. Or
That's looking very, very nice, Aaron.
Thank you.
The Garbage Man.
Monsters are always my favorite. So,
Super fun, super fun. Yeah, good call, Chuck, man. Good call. Yeah, I was, Arthur Adams was supposed to be in New Orleans, and I was really looking forward to seeing him and saying hi and trying to get a sketch from him, and then he had to cancel before we ended up canceling our show to New Orleans too. And then he decided he was going to do a list for people he was going to do on Instagram. He had the first 10 people that got on, he was going to do sketches for him. And I think about 200 and plus people tried to do it and get onto it. And I was lucky enough to be one of the 10 that was picked. So I was very happy about that.
wow, how about that?
Yeah. So
Now, can I ask what Arthur's charging these days? I have a pretty good idea, but
yeah, just throw some zeros on there. It's not a cheap thing, but
no.
it's very rare, and he does put a lot of work into them. That said, he gets about $1,000 for a bust. So
Wow.
but he doesn't just fully render the bust. He fully renders the background too. So it's not just the bust, but yeah, it's a little pricey, but it's just so hard to get anything from him that
I know. I've been trying to get one for years from him, and in my book, and he actually took it, and then I had to get it back from him because I'm like, Art, look I got Travis Charet's going to do something in there. Give me my book back.
exactly.
Yeah. So I actually got Travis to do something in it, and so I've never been able to get Art to do anything in it, or Arthur. I guess he prefers Arthur, not Art.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen. I mean, he's been doing a lot more of those littler. If you don't want like a fully rendered one, he's been doing a lot of smaller sketches too. He did a sketch thing with I don't know who it was with, but they were only like $150 for some sketches that he was doing, like not super detailed stuff, but I mean you can tell it's him, and he's putting a little bit of work into them. So I mean you could probably get something in your book. I would imagine. And look, we got a claim. I'm taking a look at everybody's names now. So, Avi, we already know that you've got 2 spots on this claim. You don't even have to type claim, okay? So we've got Dustin and Jason and Tyler. Dustin, Jason, Tyler, Jason, and Christy. Those are my 5 with 2 Avis thrown in, I think. Or how do you want to do it? What do you want to do, Ken? Those 5 and Avi, or do you want to do 4 and Avi twice?
4 and Avi.
4 and Avi. All right. So I got to go Dustin, Jason Vignola, Tyler, and Jason Harris. Sorry, Christy. Just missed the cut again.
Poor
So
Christy.
that's all right. This is just number 2. We still
That's
got
right, there's 5 more to go.
5 more to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, but so I was like, I'm like you. I was trying to think of what to get, and this I could get anything from art and be happy.
Right.
All right, let's see. All right, Avi, you ready? Here we go, guys. Here's the spin. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Who is it going to be? Oh, look at you, you lucky son of a gun. There you go, Avi. It all worked out in the end.
Well, it was kind of stacked in his favor this time. He had the odds were working for him. So.
Yeah, listen, he got skipped before, and he got better odds this time. But he said, so he said who he wanted to get, but he said, "Oh, I think I want to change my character choice if I win." Well, you won, so now you got to tell us who you're changing your character to. While you're deciding, I'm going to tell Aaron that. So who I picked for Arthur Adams to do I was like, you know what? Arthur loves to draw monsters. I'm going to get him to do. So I'm getting him to do Simonson's Thor Ragnarok. So it's got that skull missing the bottom jaw and all that glory, and so that's
very cool.
So I can't wait to see how that turns out. But there's no bad choices.
No, I was going to have him do his. He had this big giant monster from Monkey Man and O'Brien called Gorhemoth, and I was going to have him do that for me, or either that or the Mole Man.
Oh yeah, he does a good Mole Man.
So, I was trying to make it easy on him. I'm like, Arthur, man, come on, I'll give you something easy.
Yeah. So Avi said, by the way, when you're ready for it, his choice is your choice, either Harley Quinn or Man Bat.
Oh boy!
So you think about that. You mull that over. But yeah, man, yeah, I know Arthur loves to draw monsters, and I actually already have a piece by Arthur, but and it's let's see what I think it is right. It's right here. Let me see. So I already have this piece by Arthur. So I have a lovely female. I got him to do this years ago.
Jeez, look at all that. Man, he does go to town on the detail.
Look at the detail in the hair. Just look at how, So yeah, all the cross stitching and all that. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So I love this one, and so I've got a female. So I was like, let me get something a little bit different this time. So yeah, I was going full on monstery character. So yeah,
very cool.
Yeah. But it goes to show you, I mean, like how Arthur's prices have changed over the last 7 years. I saw him in 2015; it was $300, and then 2017 it was I think it was $500, and then it went up to $800, and it's only gone up in the last 4 years. It's only gone up $200, so I guess that's not bad.
Well, the thing is that, truth be told, a lot of guys. And I think Arthur's one of them. They don't really like sketching at shows.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they do is they keep raising their prices, hoping that people won't, get to a point and like go, I'm not paying that much. And then they won't have to do anything. Right.
Yeah.
But then people keep paying it. So then what do you do?
Absolutely. Yeah, they do. They're like, oh, how much? I'll do it for what? $2,000. Someone's like, okay. And he's like, no, you're
all right.
No.
Okay. Well, all right.
Right. Oh, here, since Ken's got me on full, here I framed this bad boy up yesterday. Check that out. You guys can see that one. That is my Jim Lee page from Justice League.
Oh, is that Superman down there in the bottom panel?
Yeah, it's breaking out. Yeah. And I got this. So I had Jim sign the actual interior page. So I got that framed up with it there. So, I do the framing and the matting myself because I'm cheap. And
geez, that can be as expensive as the art.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm one of those guys. I'm like, I want my money to go towards the art, not towards the framing. So, they're not they're very nice and serviceable, and they protect the art. I use the right kind of stuff, but I don't get them personally done. I just buy the right glass and buy the right mat tape and cut the mats myself and just put them in standard size frames because You know, I have one piece professionally framed out of all of my art, and it's been framed for 30 years. I just, you know, I'd rather spend my money on the art, but I want to put
I
stuff
agree.
out. Look at that. Look at all that shading. That's like a little color. It almost looks more than gray when you're doing that. It looks almost greenish, but I know it's just the gray tones, but just the way that it looks on the camera.
Well, this is but these are the warm grays that I'm using, and so that contrast does make it kind of feel like it's a color there, as opposed to I want to make those toxic spots on him stand out a little bit. So that's how we'll do it.
Nice. Yeah, that is fantastic. You guys are getting a deal tonight, man. He could have just done straight up like pencils and inks. And he's doing some tonal work on these. Ugh.
All right, get your money's worth, man. When you come on, you guys is 4C Comics, man. You got to get their money's worth.
Listen to this guy. He's our salesman now. Look at that.
You want him coming back for more?
Listen, yeah.
I don't want to look at. I am not going to. I was going to say, I'm not going to chintz out and cheap out like David Williams. I'm going to give you the full experience. So.
Ooh, them's fighting words.
Shots fired. We have shots fired.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
cover.
Just in case he's listening. That's just in case he's listening.
He'd be in a chat if he was listening. He's not.
Listen, you never know, man. He's lurking. He's always lurking.
Yes.
I love David.
Oh man.
There's the David Williams experience and then there's the Lopresti experience, and I just don't want the two to get confused.
Uh-oh, look who just showed up.
No.
Told ya.
Allie Baldwin. What?
I told you, man. The Brohawk, he's like Moon Knight, man. He comes out of the shadows.
Yep. All right, there we go, man. There's a gnarly old garbage man for you. It turned out pretty well. Excellent.
I told you he was out there. I knew it.
Yep. Always lurking. All right. Who do we got next?
Your choice.
I have to choose, don't
Harley
I?
Quinn or Man-Bat? Or draw Harley Quinn as Man-Bat, but I don't think he'd like that.
I like what you did.
Do you want classic Harley Quinn?
You have carte blanche, my friend.
Oh. Let's see. Draw faster, Brohawk says. Hey, yeah, give me a second here, man, will you? Jeez. Oh, Man-Bat or... Boy, that is tempting. But since I've just drawn two monsters, if he's going to give me the choice, I'll go classic Harley Quinn.
Well, you never miss out getting you to draw a female. They are gorgeous. I've got I've got one handy somewhere right around here. It's a beauty.
I'm going to sharpen my pencil, David, so just don't get all... Okay, here we go.
It's around here somewhere. I was reorganizing my room a little bit, and I moved some stuff around. But... Yeah, David is definitely the sleeping giant. You don't want to poke into verbal fisticuffs.
Well, he thinks, but he knows not to tangle with me. We've already settled that, I think. Yeah.
Let's see, Dominic. Right now, someone is getting a Harley Quinn, and we'll let you know when the next claim comes up, because Aaron's going to be doing at least 4 more sketches after this one. So
that's right.
David, I sent you a link if you want to defend your honor against. Aaron, did you see? I did a clip show You probably didn't see it,
No, I didn't.
but I took highlights and I did a bunch of them, and I did like a whole section of when David was on your show. It was hilarious. I had so much fun doing it.
I mean, he literally just let it run for like 5 minutes of banter. He didn't even need to cut it. It was all gems, all of it.
We're just all like just rapid fire, boom, 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 boom. It was so
Uh, that's good stuff. My wife keeps telling me on my YouTube channel, she's like, we should, like do the best of. And I've said, hey, if you want to go sift through all that footage and find some, some clips to use, go ahead. But I'm not going to. So that's a lot of work. Go through that stuff.
I don't think anybody's had any trouble doing claims on. We thought there was some trouble, but I think we figured out there wasn't. Let me make sure. Yeah, no, we've been getting claims on YouTube, buddy. But somebody asked, is there ever going to be an opportunity to get some full figure stuff from you, Aaron? I guess you could answer that yourself.
Yeah, we could do that. The thing is, it takes so much longer, so you only get like, maybe you do like 2 or 3, as opposed to if you do, shots like this, or you get more people get an opportunity to get one. So that's kind of how I approach it. So,
but we're always talking to Aaron. We're always seeing. We said we took a list for him last time, and he knocked him out real quick. And somebody had asked before you were coming on if you decided to do another commission list, if they were on the wait list, they wanted to make. They're like, is that thing out the window? And I was like, no. I was like, if you were on the wait list and Aaron decides to do another list, I was like, we're of course going to contact everybody on the wait list and make sure they still want something. We wouldn't take a wait list otherwise.
I know he's really drawing other things. That's why I didn't even approach him for anything like
that.
Yeah. That's been kind of the thing, is I've been so my priority obviously has got to get my book done, and so I haven't been doing any commissions for a while.
Yeah.
Probably won't for a little while yet. But then once I get the book done, I'll probably be just so flat broke that I'll be like, yeah, bring them on, baby.
Exactly. Be drawn in his sleep.
You did a heck of a job with that Indiegogo. I mean, tremendous contributions.
Yeah, it was very
almost 120,000.
Yeah, we're 119 right now.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So the thing that kind of sucks about it though is that total also includes all the shipping. So it's like, I think I have probably I'm just estimating, but about as much as 18 grand in shipping.
Oh wow. Jeez.
So, it's still, no, I still came out, I'm still far enough ahead on it that if I had done the same thing for DC, I'm making more money than I would have if, I was just doing the same thing for DC right now, or Marvel or something. So I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong, but it's, when you start factoring in all the extra expenses and stuff that, you have to pay for, all the printing and all the stretch goals and things like that, it eats into it a little bit. So it's not quite as glamorous as it looks, but it is successful, and it, I am money ahead on it. So I'm grateful for that.
Absolutely.
Because it's not, anytime you're doing your own project, there's a risk. So.
I'm loving that Harley.
Yeah.
That's like I don't know, the eyes with the smile, like it's like already like you can just see what's going on in your head. A little bit of crazy there. I love it.
A little bit more attractive than say Man Bat would have been, but
A little more. I mean, Man Bat's quite a handsome man bat.
Well, it depends on, if you're in the right crowd, he sure is.
Ken Dominic wants to know if we take Venmo.
No.
No, we do not take Venmo.
Sorry.
Sorry, buddy.
PayPal invoices.
We send out PayPal invoices.
So what do you got against Venmo?
Nothing. I just need a paper trail, and that doesn't give me one.
Oh, I hear you, man.
Exactly. We're not trying. We're all on the up and up here. We're not trying to take any cash under the table. You know, we just pay out under the table. No, wait, I didn't say that. No, we don't do that. I promise.
Well, I've got to imagine that even Venmo would send you out a 1099 at the end of the year, wouldn't they?
I think it depends on how much. Like it's gotten so weird now with how people are doing stuff and all the companies are doing stuff. Venmo and Zelle and even eBay and all those things. Everybody's got to get their hands in on everything anymore. A lot of these places used to be like garage sales, and now it's like they're so big that the government's getting their they got to get their part of it. So whereas it used to be, I forget how much it used to be in sales you used to have before you filed one for eBay, but now it's just $600. If you sell more than $600 worth of stuff through eBay, you have to fill out a 1099, and it used to be something like thousands, 15,000 or something before you had to worry about that. So,
well, yeah. So I guess they're treating it just like if you if you had a subcontractor doing something for you, right? You get up to $1,600 or $600, and then it's like you got to report it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that all this tax talk is just really
This is what people tune. It's what they tune in for, man. It's the business aspect, not the art. It's all the great conversation about.
We don't care about the art. Tell us about
exactly
how much in taxes you're paying.
Tell us those tax codes again. That's sexy.
Yeah.
Avi, I don't think this is going to make it to you. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I think it's going to get lost at Ken's.
Could get lost in the mail. It's happened before.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, there's enough people, I think, out there, Murdoch, that think that a lot of these art sales that are going on are basically money laundering things. So, yeah, we definitely don't want any of that stuff on our plate,
Well, it is kind of funny when people don't understand something, well, who'd spend that much money on a comic book page, or something? There's got to be something, and you're just like, they just don't understand the hobby or the market, Yeah.
And just the fact that there's a lot of people who grew up, reading this stuff and love these characters and who have a lot of money now, and they're willing to spend it on stuff they love. I don't think you spend $3,360,000 on a page of artwork because you're looking to flip it. I think you're buying it because you can afford it and you love it.
Are you referring to the Black Spider-Man costume page?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Holy,
yes,
that was amazing. I'm sure Mike Zeck is going, wow, we should have hung on to that.
Well, that's the thing is everybody looks at it a little bit differently, and I think that as long as everybody, of course, you looking back on it in hindsight, you wish you'd held it. But if he ended up selling it for money, then it was more than and it was if he made a decent amount of money off of when he sold it. It's hard. I've sold stuff for what would be an incredibly great profit, but if I had held on to it for 20 more years, it would have gone for an insane profit. And it's like, well, when I buy something for $50 and I sell it for $1,250, I can't really be mad at the fact that now it's worth, $15,000. And
Yeah, I mean that's true because you can play that game forever because it's always going to go up.
Yeah.
I had a nice Wrightson piece I sold, and Scott Williams has it now because Scott Williams has everything.
Yeah, he's a huge collector, man.
And but I paid $650 for it and sold it for $2,500. So it's not like I took a bath on it.
Exactly. But
But
of course, Listen, if any of us knew, I mean, I kept most of the stuff that I got in the, around 1990, give or take. I didn't sell till the year 2000, so I kept it for 10 years. It wasn't like I just flipped it,
Right.
And who knew that if I kept it for 25, it could have bought me a house. Nobody knew. Nobody expected that.
Right. The funny thing that I think is that you look at somebody like Terry Austin, who still has all of his X-Men pages.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're sitting on in covers, and I think he has the Dark Phoenix cover. It's kind of like, I mean, he's literally sitting on millions of dollars. It's kind of like, I mean, I guess if you don't need it, right?
Yeah. That's the whole point. Listen, I hear stories all the time about some of these guys who are doing just fine and they just don't need the money.
Well, I met a guy who he has a little kind of Hollywood poster memorabilia shop on Hollywood Boulevard. It's one of the few remaining. And last time I was, and this was, it might have been 7 years ago now, 6 years ago. And there's a book called Graven Images that came out several years ago that it's just a bunch of all horror movie collectible stuff and movie posters. And it's all his collection, which I didn't know. I mean, I'd seen the book, but I'd never bought it. And so he had a copy in his bookstore, and I said, well, here. I said, I'll buy this, sign it for me. And then I talked to him a little bit, and he, he has like the original Mummy one sheet, which is $1 million plus movie poster.
Jesus.
He bought, he told me the story that, I don't know if you guys are familiar at all with Hollywood Boulevard, but there was a bookstore there. It was still there, called Larry Edmonds. And it was a movie poster shop and, movie books and memorabilia and stuff like that. Been there forever. And he was telling me it was in the 70s sometime. And he was teaching school, so in the 70s he wasn't school teacher, so he wasn't making good money. And they had the poster to Frankenstein, and he put it up in the window, and it was $1,200. And he said, he told his wife, he said, look, I know it's a lot of money, $1,200 in the mid 70s, right? 78 or something. And he said, but I just think it's a really good investment. And so he actually borrowed the money from like one of these loan shark places that charge you. I mean, it's not a loan shark, but it was like, one of those
like 30% interest kind of deal.
Right, exactly. Right. And borrowed the money, bought the poster, and then, paid it off as quickly as he could. And now he's got that poster, and that's probably like 800,000 or more, you know? And so his basically his poster, he has like Lon Chaney from posters from Phantom of the Opera and things like that. I mean, it's just incredible the stuff he has.
Right. And
his collection's worth literally millions of dollars. And I'm like, dude, why don't you cash that in? He's like, hey, my house is paid for. I can come in here and work in this shop, for half days, 5 days a week, and I'm fine. I'm like, yeah, I guess. He goes, and plus he said if I sold them, I would just turn around and go and use the money and buy something else again. And I'm like, no,
right.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing that, some friends of mine in the business, they always say that being a collector of art now is a little different. You have to spend a little bit of money, and you got to slowly try to build up your collection versus the guys who got into it, like I did 20 and 30 years ago, only the ones that weren't, dumb like me and sold all their stuff, because they always have they have that war chest to work with. If you had one or two great pieces 30 years ago, you sell one of those now and you get a ton of money, and then you can invest in other people, and you can and it's a lot easier to build an incredible collection when you have that war chest. Like for me, and Ken didn't, I put this into perspective when I was talking to Ken last time. I was like, it's not only that I used to own all these insanely great pieces, but I owned them all when I was like 17 years old, and I didn't appreciate them.
Yeah.
I liked them, and there was stuff that I loved, But, there's certain things like, I had a Kirby page. I had all kinds of stuff that I didn't appreciate as much because it was the 90s and I was into, the Jim Lee stuff and the
Right.
image stuff, So having, owning an X-Men cover by Walter Simonson, I was really cool and I was happy to own it because I owned an X-Men cover, but I didn't appreciate the fact that, Walter Simonson, because he was just a little bit before my time, just a little tiny bit until, but as I got older, of course I could appreciate that more and, but.
No, I hear you, man. It's, like I said, the only pieces I regret that I had to let go of, and I had to let go of them just because of financial reasons, or I needed some money at the time, didn't have any work or whatever it was. And, a couple of those rights and pieces, because they were classic rights and they weren't, the more modern stuff, which is more readily available and not that expensive. But, pre-1980 stuff. And so I regret having to let those go. And I had to sell, I had a page from Clandestine #1, Alan Davis, Silver Surfer page.
Ooh.
And I had to let go of that. And that kind of ticked me off. Even though I kept the MODOK page from that issue, I still have page 1 from Clandestine #1, which is MODOK. And but those are the ones that, and I had a Jose Gonzalez Vampirella page that I wish I still had. But those are the, most of my regrets are pages I could have bought and didn't.
Yeah. I have a couple of those, but not as many as pages I sold that I just wish, because like I said, I sold them when I, like when I was basically out of college. They were just sitting in the portfolio in the closet. Didn't really, I wasn't really doing anything with it anymore. And I just, they was just like, okay, it's just paper, it's money. And I thought that, and I thought I was beyond the comic book stuff at that point. And then all it took was, 10 years later, I was with my girlfriend at the time. And I think I've told this story in here before. And there was a comic book convention about 5 minutes away from our house. And she's like, we should take the kids. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And, Herb Trumpy was there. And I was like, maybe I'll get a sketch. And I got a sketch of Wolverine. And that was it. 20 years been out. That's all it took. And I was back in.
Yeah.
Now, and that's the thing is, and then you start thinking, oh my God, all that stuff I sold. Oh, I really did love it. I just, wasn't, why did I sell it? Oh. But when I want to torture myself, I have an entire folder in my phone of pictures of all the stuff I used to own that I sold, just so I can be reminded not to sell anything again that I really.
Yeah. Well, I have a private sketchbook that I have some guys in that, I'm quite happy about that I'll never get rid of. But, just the pages, because the pages are, to me, are more nostalgic because I remember when I was a kid or whatever, and you're like, oh, if I still had that Wrightson page, or if I still had that Alan Davis page that I bought because I was a big Alan Davis fan, not, for any other reason. And so you kind of miss those because of the nostalgia that's also attached to them.
Absolutely. Yeah, something like one of the pieces was that I wish I had never sold. It was a sketch that I had gotten from John Romita Sr. And it was just it just was one of those things where I got the sketch myself. Him and his John Romita Jr. was on it as well. They did a back-to-back of Spider-Man and the Punisher on a full 11x17 Marvel board. I had Senior do some spider webs on one side. I had Junior do like half a Punisher like symbol on the other, really big. So it was almost like a cover quality thing, and it was like $25 a character. And I'm like, and something I got myself, I designed, and I like I said, I sold it for a very nice profit when it didn't mean as much to me. But that's the thing as I look back on now, and half the problem with the stuff I sold is I sold it so long ago that there's no paper trail. I have no idea who owns the stuff. So I couldn't even go out if they don't, and they're not on CAF and they're not anywhere. And it's like, I can't even like make an offer because they don't exist. They're right. They're not in the wild. They're just gone.
I've got a couple pieces of my own that I sold that I wish I hadn't, but I don't know where they're at. And, people that own them would be agreeable to putting them up for sale. And then you have to sit there and talk yourself into going, am I really going to pay that much money for a piece of my own work?
Right? Yeah.
You're like, I can just draw it again if I want it that bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I sold one piece. I think it was in 2019, and I bought it back in 2020. And I was like, and that was the last time that I've sold a piece that I liked. So the person I actually was nice. They had upgraded a piece, and they were very nice and let me buy it back. I did have to buy it back for more than I've sold it for, but it didn't matter because I wanted it back, and
right.
And it was by the same artist that just sold a piece for $3.36 million. So,
That's crazy, man. I mean, well, I think what's even crazier is that there's somebody that has that much money to spend on that.
Oh, yeah.
That to me is what blows my mind, because that is so. I mean, I guess if you operate in the big corporate world, that's not a big shock. But boy, for somebody like me, it's like, who's got $3 million to spend on a page of artwork?
Yeah.
I mean, it just blows my mind. If I had $3 million, I wouldn't spend it on a comic book page.
Buy an island.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty funny. Oh,
well,
but,
that Harley Quinn looks fan-frickin-tastic.
Oh, thank you. But you got to figure if somebody spends $3 million on artwork, how much money do they actually have?
Oh, $1 billion. They're a billionaire. They're obviously.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Exactly. So it's like
nobody's spending. They're not spending. They're not a millionaire.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not spending their life savings on that page.
Right. They're not living. It's not like Amazing Stories, if you remember that episode where Mark Hamill
Which one?
Pushing around a shopping cart full of Action Comics #1 and all kinds of stuff. That was, by the way, if anybody gets a chance to watch Amazing Stories from the 80s, which was a Steven Spielberg TV show that was so great. There's an episode where Mark Hamill plays this kid who collects all this stuff, and somebody tells him to hold on to everything he loves. And then they flash forward, and he's like this 80, 90-year-old man, and he's just pushing around the shopping cart, and it's literally full of all of these things that he collected his whole life. And he ends up having like an Action Comics #1 and all this other stuff. And then he ends up selling it when he's like in his 80s and he's living in a mansion and he's doing all this stuff, even though he was basically homeless for like the end of his life. It's pretty cool.
That's funny. I didn't see that episode. I used to watch that show, but I did not see that one.
Or the Kevin Costner one with the cartoon wheel on the plane. That's another.
That was the pilot episode.
Yeah.
I think. And that's the one Spielberg actually directed himself.
Mm-hmm.
See, I know my history, TV history.
Look, you got a little splash of color in there. Look at that.
Yeah, just lucky that I had a red pen handy.
And it is red. It'll look a little different when you get it. It's not rust colored, I promise.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a claim. Let's see who jumps on it. Let's see who's paying attention. It's always my favorite thing to see who's that finger on the trigger and knows when to hit the button. Oh, nice. Christy Misty, you are not missing out this time. All right. And I'm going to call it. That's everybody. All right. I've got, let's see. I've got Dustin. I've got Christy. I've got Ignite Gaming. I've got Jason. And rounding out the top 5 is Tyler Jeremy. Sorry, Mr. Vignola. Sorry, John Rose. But thanks for joining us, John. Love to see a new person in the claims. And listen, after this next wheel spin, there's still 3 more shots at sketches, guys. So don't go nowhere.
Check me.
Check, baby. Check, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got Dustin. We've got Christy. We've got Ignite. We've got Jason Harris. Sorry, just in case Jason Vignola is not listening, that is Jason Harris's Jason, not you. And Tyler. That is correct. And the winner is... I can't tell. Oh, Christy, wow. You squeezed that one out. That was close. All right,
Give it
Christy,
to
let us
Christy.
know what character you would like. And you are a longtime buyer, so you do not have to send us a ton of information. We already have it all. I want Galactus as Jack of Hearts, please.
But seriously, what do you want?
That's fantastic.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. They have. She hasn't said yet. She hasn't said yet. I was joking. That was one of the one. I just felt Aaron's butt clench up on that one.
Galactus as Jack of Hearts.
Oh man, someone's gonna do that.
You know, it's not going to be me.
Don Rogue. I am not familiar with that.
I know Rogue.
I know. I need to check this out. That's why we've got the interwebs. All right. Don Rogue. Yep, I have no idea who that is. Typo. Okay, sorry. X-Men Rogue. Okay, so wait, how did you type in X-Men and it corrected to Don?
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute now. What's going on here?
That's funny. I think Facebook assigned a name to it. Oh, all right.
Good old Don Rogue.
Don. Oh, do Rogue. Oh, she probably typed do Rogue. Okay. All right. So there's like 18 different kinds of rogues too. So are you giving him carte blanche again to pick whichever one he wants? That's what I want to know.
All right. So there's her.
She's purty.
Fantastic.
Pretty crazy.
Nicely done, sir. Gorgeous. All right, and you are given carte blanche, sir. So whatever iteration of Rogue you would like. You know, there's the Michael Golden, there's the Jim Lee, there's the Savage Land, there's there's the 80s, 90s TV show. Go for it, buddy. Whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can turn her into a zombie. I'm just saying.
Zombie Rogue, of course. I'm sure that's what Christy really wants.
Zombie Galactus is Jack of Hearts.
I'm not sure that they could turn Galactus into a zombie, could they?
I think Galactus was a zombie during the Marvel Zombies.
Was he really?
Let me see. I'm going to look it up right now. I'm pretty sure he was, though.
How did they? I know this is kind of like sacrilegious, but I never read any of that. So I'm kind of like, how did everybody turn into zombies? What was the whole shtick about that?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm
Ken,
a
how
big
can you not know that? Ken must know that, right?
Ken must know.
I did read it. I just remember they were in space and they caught some sort of virus.
Space virus.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, then I guess Galactus could be infected then, couldn't he?
Yeah.
If it was a space virus.
Yeah, they just got this sort of insane hunger thing going on where they just had to eat people.
Yeah.
Space virus. Yeah.
I've been that hungry, but I've never actually done it.
I was trying to find a really good picture, but I'm really just seeing statues and stuff. I'm not seeing a good Galactus zombie.
Now, the question is, could the Silver Surfer actually be infected with his silver coating?
I don't know. If it's a space virus, maybe. I don't know. Christy's like, I'd rather it not be a zombie. Too late.
I wouldn't do that to you. Wouldn't do that to you.
One night, Aaron, we'll have you on, and we'll have people do claims, and we'll get to pick the character
Oh gosh.
they get, and they say, we'll make them pay for it first.
I
You
can't
could
get
do
out.
like a wheel spin, you could have like characters, the way they're supposed to look,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did a 2-year run on Ms. Marvel, and never did any of the covers. They finally contact me to do a cover for Ms. Marvel, and it's a zombie variant. So I have to draw Ms. Marvel as a zombie. It's like I have to take this, beautiful character and ugly her up, and that's although I sold the cover, somebody wanted it. So
She must have been the prettiest zombie at the ball.
she was pretty heinous. So I don't know what the. I was trying to figure out a way. How can I make her good looking and still a zombie? I was like, that's not going to work. Just have to accept the fact.
Hey, I downloaded some pictures. So I know some people did like my 4COA thing, but unfortunately, the printer died. And,
4COA, unfortunately, is no more in that form.
in that form. So I have reinvented it. What we're going to do now is it's going to be like a postcard. The front of the postcard kind of looks like a comic book. The back of the postcard has all the information about who did it and everything. We're going to put serial number holograms on them, and then they'll all be uploaded to the 4C website whenever that 4C website finally goes live. But this will be, so I wanted to show you guys. So this is what the front of the book looks like, or front of the C of A looks like.
It's very inviting, pleasant little character there on the front.
Yeah, that's actually a character that I developed many, many years ago. It was going to be for a comic book, and it was drawn by Lewis Small Jr. So it's actually a character that I worked on. And then the back of the COA will look like this. We'll put the creator's name, what the item is, and affix the hologram to it. And then we'll take a picture of the piece and upload it to the 4C website, so you can cross-reference the serial number with the item. So just a different way, same way, different way. Same idea, but different way. So
yeah, it was important for us. Like, it was really important for Ken. Ken wanted a way to distinguish our COAs from a lot of other places, and we really loved the 4COA, which I don't know if you remember, Aaron. It was basically like a
credit card,
like a credit card, or like an ID. It literally had a picture of the item, and it was done and laminated, so that it was not only was it a COA, but it was sealed and it had a picture of it, so you couldn't transfer it to something else because there's a picture of it right there on the COA, and we liked that a lot. Unfortunately, that machine is quite costly, and then when it broke, they weren't going to fix it, so we came up with this way. So now you still get the COA. It has a serial number. It'll explain what it is, and if you type in the serial number on our website, and it should be up anytime now. We're almost ready to pop that thing open, and then you'll be able to just look, and there it'll be on there. So if you want to transfer it to somebody else, they can look it up on our website as well, and it'll be there, in perpetuity.
So in other words, are you still sending out the certificates of authenticity, or is it simply digital? They check your site to verify.
No, it's a physical thing.
It's a physical one that comes with the item, and then they can,
Okay, I see. I got you.
And then they can cross-reference their physical one with the actual picture on the website.
Gotcha.
Yep. So there's a few people who've already purchased them, so I'm waiting for them to come in from the printer. I have the serial number holograms right here. Just waiting for the actual CFAs to come in from the printer. And then we'll start shipping them out with the art that anybody claims that wants it. So hopefully you guys like it.
Well, that's actually a really good idea, to authenticate the stuff, especially for the prices people are paying for a lot of original art these days. You'd want to know that, they've got the real thing.
Yeah, my background is, I came from the sports memorabilia arena, and so authenticity is everything. It's paramount. You can't
Right.
authentic someone's autograph, then you don't have anything. So I kind of wanted to translate that over to the comic field. It's been received pretty well so far.
My son has a piece of Larry Bird's jersey, and that goes with a photograph that was signed by him.
Yeah. I remember when I first started, the first piece that they did was a Babe Ruth bat. They cut it up and they put it in baseball cards. And when that happened, the hobby went crazy. We're like, you destroyed a game-used bat from Babe Ruth to put it in baseball cards. It was
What, from Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth.
They ground up a bat.
Yep, cut it up into little slivers and then inserted those slivers into baseball cards.
I don't know if I could have done that. Not a Babe Ruth bat.
Yeah. It was pretty wild. But that started a whole thing, now they do that stuff is standard, they cut up jerseys, they cut up footballs, helmets, I mean, you name it. They cut it in little pieces and throw it in the baseball cards.
Well, but the thing is, it's like, and I suppose there was probably plenty of bats that, I don't know how many bats are floating around that Babe Ruth actually used.
Yeah.
But, the uniforms and stuff, I don't know. I don't know. The stuff like that vintage baseball stuff seems like it's a lot rarer than, a piece of Larry Bird's, one of the hundreds of jerseys he wore.
If there's any Eagles fans out there, I recently was going through some old stuff and I found this.
Got a Reggie White autograph. Look at that.
Reggie
Ooh,
White.
nice.
Been signing with Reggie back in, I don't know, 92, 93. It was right after Jerome Brown died in that car accident. He was a nice guy. And then he went to Green Bay like 2 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had a Super Bowl.
He had some good years at Green Bay, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever hear the story about how he went to Green Bay? He did an interview when he was a free agent, and he said, "God will tell me where I need to go." So the head coach of the Packers at the time was it Andy Reid? I don't know who it was. He called up Reggie White and he goes, "Reggie, this is God. He wants you to
Holmgren. It was Holmgren, wasn't it?
Holmgren.
Yeah, it was Holmgren. That's who it was. Yeah.
God, I want you to be a Packer."
That's funny.
That guy was a beast. Absolute beast.
Out of the University of Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
So. Hell, I look at the card. What's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably tells you all this stuff right there.
What did I do with it? Let's see. College, Tennessee.
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm a comic book geek and a sports geek.
Here we go. I'm going to show the picture that's on the back of this. Check this out. That's when he played for the USFL, the Showboats.
He was in the USFL? Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I know Steve Young was.
He didn't even get drafted.
So was Warren Moon. So was
yeah. Well, Warren Moon played in
Jim
Canada.
Kelly. Jim Kelly.
Yeah, Jim Kelly went to the Houston Gamblers.
Of course, Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Who else was
for Trump in the New Jersey Generals.
That's right, with Doug Flutie.
Yep. They were paying a lot of money there that first couple of years. We had a team in Portland, the Portland Breakers. And their big deal was they got Marcus Dupree out of Oklahoma, but he ended up getting hurt all the time, and so I don't think it really did much. And then of course the league died. So
yeah.
All right, let me think what I'm going to do here with her hair. I think I'm going to do this.
No, that's the part that's supposed to be white. You screwed it all up.
No, I looked really closely before I jumped in here.
I'm just messing with you. I thought about doing that with the Harley Quinn, being like, nope, you colored the wrong side black.
You see, it wouldn't have worked because while we were talking, I looked it up online and was actually looking at it while I was coloring it in. So it would have been like, no, I think you're wrong, sir.
Yeah.
I think I am correct.
That's what we're going to do. The next one, someone's going to get Nick Fury. And I'll be like, nope, the eye patch is on the wrong side of his face.
Yeah, freak them out. They're like, what? No!
We're only doing pages. We're only doing pieces of art that are designed to be viewed through mirrors tonight. That's our shtick.
When I was hanging out with Bill Morrison, he was doing a picture of Mr. Burns. And, he's got the 3 little dots on his head.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were always on the left side. I was like, yeah,
They were what?
They're on the left side of his head.
Oh, okay.
So I had to find a picture of him from the right side to see if there were any dots in there, and there weren't. I was like, look at that. Never even noticed that in my life.
Well, it's kind of interesting. There was the first time I drew a Spider-Man story, I think it was Jim Salicrup was the editor of Spider-Man, because I was doing it wasn't doing it for him. I was doing it for Marvel Comics Presents or something like that, maybe, or an annual or something that he didn't have direct. He just had kind of sign-off duties on it. And he let me know that because I didn't put the dimples on Mary Jane. And he says it's just like Spider-Man's costume is the dimples and the dimple on her chin and the 2 on her cheek. You have to, that's part of her look.
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't realize that. And I thought it was just kind of a, whoever was drawing her kind of, do whatever. And he said, nope, you got to have those in there. And I went, all right, I'll put them in.
I'll have to go back and look because I always thought, one of the things I always thought Sal Buscema used to draw Mary Jane like she was Brooke Shields. Like if you go back and look at any of those like 90s Spectacular Spider-Mans with Mary Jane, she looks exactly like Brooke Shields, all like big eyebrows, and it was like remarkable to me that nobody else was seeing this, and I'm like, it's Brooke Shields. He's drawing Brooke Shields.
Maybe no one was paying attention, Because I never saw that either, but I never.
Oh yeah, well I had the hot for Brooke Shields.
Well, there you go. So, see, I was that way with Anne Margaret. So if he had been drawing her to look like Anne Margaret, I might have noticed. See.
Is that a Sal Buscema right there? Look at that. Blow that thing up, Ken. Show that thing full screen. All right, hold on. You got something in the way.
There.
Hold on. There you go.
There it is. Yeah.
Tell me that's not Brooke Shields. Come on.
Well, yeah, I can see it.
Look at the one in the
I can
corner.
definitely see it.
Click the other one in the top corner. The top, but next to your thumb, right there. The other one in the top corner. That one looks even more like Brooke Shields. Look at that. Come on.
Yeah. No, hey, I'm with you on that. That does. Now that you've mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. Something you can't unsee.
Yep.
It's like singing Tiny Dancer after you hear somebody say Tony Danza. You can never do it the same way again. Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to think if I have any rogue. I don't even know if I have any rogue in my collection.
Rogue was like always requested. There was a period of time where it was like, I mean, after I did Wonder Woman, I always get Wonder Woman requests, but boy, Rogue was like one of the prominent ones for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think I have any Rogue or any Gambit in my collection, honestly. That's crazy because I got friends that only collect Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah, definitely don't have a Gambit. I was never a big Gambit fan. I don't get it.
Yeah, me either.
I don't get. Like,
Because it was the romance between Rogue and Gambit. It wasn't necessarily just because it was Gambit.
yeah.
I think it was that kind of romantic thing they had going on that sort of propelled all of that. All the Gambit love.
If he's throwing cards, good deal.
What's the deal with that?
My mutant power is I toss cards. My wife watches this show called Ghosts. Have you guys seen this?
I've heard of it. It's on CBS. I think.
I've seen the ads for it. I have not watched it.
Yeah, so it's about a woman who she lives in this house, and it's all these ghosts are in there from people who died on the property and stuff like that. So they all have these, but the ghosts actually have like different powers. And one of them last week had her power was she could burp like shrimp. So that's what her physical thing was, to haunt somebody with. So the guy's sitting there and she burps and he's just like, "Oh my god, what's that smell?" It's like your mutant power is your burp shrimp.
I thought it was like physical shrimp that would come out of her mouth when she.
No,
just the smell.
Just the smell of shrimp.
I don't. Yeah, it's actually a pretty funny show. I was resistant to it at first, but it's growing on me.
This kind of looks like a trippy Steranko 60s, with all that kind of weird swirly.
I like it. Yeah,
black hair, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking Michael Golden.
Little, yeah. You should. Yeah, that's definitely cool. I like it. Psychedelic rogue.
Yeah, exactly.
Austin Powers rogue.
Do.
Well, David didn't come on, so I guess you really shook him.
Yeah. Well, he's
keep
running.
Poking that bear, Ken. Just keep.
He's
poking
running
that
scared. Actually, I think he did outlast me, didn't he? On the last time because he challenged me to what would he go like 20 hours or something straight with you guys once or something weird like that?
It was like 12.
Yeah.
You don't keep going. I threw in the towel. I said, "Brittany, I can't do this anymore."
Yeah, Ken's like, I'm tired of hosting. I know you've been drawing all night, but I can't stand here anymore.
I can't sit here any longer.
I mean,
Sitting's getting too hard.
When you're drawing, you're doing something. I'm sitting here trying to think of something to say for 12 freaking hours. I was running out of juice.
No, that's a long time, man. Even I did a couple of what I called errand cons, during the height of the pandemic, and I would go all day, but I'd go like 4 hours and I'd take like an hour break and I'd come back and do another 4 hours, but 12 hours straight. Yeah, no, that's too much like a real con.
Yeah. Oh, those fun days are coming, Jeff.
I can't wait, man. Let's see. I think our first big con, knock on wood, was supposed to be New Orleans, but COVID got the better of everything in that weekend. So we're gonna make it to Planet Con, I believe, is our first big con. Ken will be doing a couple. City? Yep, Kansas City. That's right. Ken is going to be doing a couple in between now and then with Bill Morrison. But that's going to be one of that. A big 4C presence. It's not going to be felt till Planet Con.
Well, probably Fan Expo Philly.
Is Philly before Planet?
Week before.
Is it the week before? Okay.
Oh no, it's actually like 2 weeks before.
Oh, I got to look at my calendar.
April 8th through the 10th is Philly, and then Planet's the 22nd.
Is this number 4?
That's number 5.
No, it's 4.
No.
Right?
Wait.
I got 3. I got 3 pieces of paper left, so it has to be number.
Okay, so it's number 4. Okay.
Yep.
Now, can I do like one more live and then take 2 to do at home, or?
Yeah, it's up to you, man. Yeah.
Okay, because we're at 2 hours right now. I gotta.
Yep.
I still gotta go to the store tonight.
Sure.
So yeah, let me do one more. I'll take like I said, I'll take the 7 that I promised, and I'll do one more live, and then
And what I'm going to do is first 3 claims.
What happens if 20 people claim, Ken?
First 3.
Well, there you go. Ken makes the rules. I just work here.
First 3, and the first one will get they'll be done live.
All right. The first 3 are Jason Harris, Dustin Whitney, and Tyler Jeremy. Wow, we missed out on, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other people. Sorry, guys. You all did very good at claiming, but
Who's it? Jason Harris, Dustin Whitney, and
the timestamp we got, Jason Harris is first, so he'll be the last live sketch. Dustin Whitney and Tyler Jeremy will be the at-home claims. And Tyler's already told us who he wants for his home claim. So
Who do
we
you
just
want?
need, he wants Timberwolf from Legion, any version you want to do.
ugh, boy, I'm gonna have to pull that reference. It's been a while since I've drawn that character.
Yeah, so you can make him, like I said, he's got many iterations, so you can pick whichever one you want. And then Jason Harris, you're going to get the next live one, so let us know what character you want. And Dustin, let us know what other character you want him to do after it's over. Oh, Jason wants Beta Ray Bill.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Oh, that's going to make Ken salivate over there.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be the last sketch, and then
Okay, so which one's live? Which one am I doing live? Beta Ray Bill?
Beta Ray Bill, yeah. And then Dustin wants, if you're willing, he would like you to do Daenerys from Game of Thrones, the Mother of Dragons, the Breaker of Chains, about 20 other things that I can't remember.
I did a color piece of her a while ago for somebody that turned out pretty well.
So I'm guessing he is willing. So I think you got it, Dustin.
Willing and able.
So there you go. So everybody who missed out, apologies for missing out. But listen, we have Aaron on quite a bit, so it's not going to be your last chance. And as soon as he's done with his, all of his hard work on his comic, I'm so sure we'll be able to, he'll be able to do some commission lists and stuff. If not,
Or
with
if
us,
if a comic book comes up on eBay and I need some cash to buy it, you'll be hearing from me.
Exactly. That's how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So whenever that happens, he'll just contact us, and we'll throw it up on 4C and fill up that list, and then he'll be able to buy his comic.
That's right. That's how it works.
Right.
Got to be properly motivated. You got to properly motivate the artist, and that's.
So what's the last comic you bought? What's the last one you bought?
Well, I'm waiting on it right now. It hasn't shown up yet. So I have people actually bugging me because I said them I bought this comic, and they're like, "Well, what is it?" And I'm like, I'm not telling you until it shows up. So I'm not going to tell you.
You can't tell me.
But
what's the last comic you bought before that comic?
Okay, the last one I got was I got a Iron Man 48, nice near mint copy for a Christmas present from a birthday present from my son and my wife, and that's got Firebrand on it, and he's this big shocker melting Iron Man's armor. Was a fairly common occurrence in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And a nice Gil Kane cover, and nothing spectacular about the book. I just really like the cover. So my last really nice purchase, I got a Tales of Suspense 99, not slabbed, but still a real solid, I think, 9.2. And that, of course, is the 99 last issue of Tales of Suspense before it spun off into Captain America and Iron Man. And so that was a book. I really liked the cover, nice Gene Colan cover, and I was trying to find a near mint copy kind of in the price range I was willing to spend, and I finally found one that was actually, I would have bought a slabbed one if I found one that wasn't overpriced. But this was an unslabbed copy, but it was really, really clean, and it was the first one I'd seen that was actually a near mint, because everybody always, oh, it's near mint. You look at it and go, yeah, no, it isn't. But this one really was. So, and it wasn't bad. I was like, it got it for like $100. So I was quite pleased.
There she is.
There she is.
Rogan it up. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Does she just no liver spots or dimples or mold?
No, that's my hand. You see the liver spots. It's not. Okay, so we're doing Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill. Ken's got a nice Beta Ray Bill. Some schlub got it for him like an idiot and gave it to him for nothing.
Can't fix stupid, man.
Was it by? It wasn't by Simonson, was it?
It certainly
Yeah, it was.
Ooh. I got a Simonson Thor right up there, a 14 by 18.
Yeah.
Mine's a quick head sketch, but it's pretty awesome.
Oh, mine's full figure, but I know Walter, so I can leverage.
I know you keep telling us this, only we don't see him on our show, Aaron. Just saying.
Now, I just mean I can leverage him for art. No, he did that out of the kindness of his heart because my son was in third grade, and we were at a show at MegaCon because I was still at CrossGen or just getting ready to leave CrossGen or something. And Walter was at the show, and I'd known him, for years before that. And he spent a lot of time with my son. He was just really super nice and, answering all the questions my son would ask, like who would win, Superman or Thor? And then Walter said, well, it depends on who's writing the story.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
This is exactly right. And
it's a very Stan Lee answer.
Yeah. And so I asked him if he'd, if I could, get him to do a, sketch of Beta Ray Bill for Josh. He goes, I don't do sketches at, shows or anything. And I said, all right, no, I understand. He goes, it's nothing personal. He goes, I just, I do them for charity and that's it. And I said, okay, no, I totally get it. But my son had been talking to him about HeroClix the whole time. And then he finally said, you know what, Josh? He said, if you can find me, because he told him, if he'd asked him if he'd seen the Beta Ray Bill HeroClix. And Walter said, no, I didn't even know one existed. And he goes, tell you what, Josh, if you can find me a Beta Ray Bill HeroClix, I'll do you a Beta Ray Bill sketch. And so I grabbed the kid and I come on, let's go find one quick. And so we found one for like, $12 or $14, whatever it was. Brought it back to Walter. He says, all right. He goes, I'll do you a sketch, but I'm not going to do it here. He goes, I'll send it to you. And I said, that's, I told him, obviously how wonderful of him and really appreciate it and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know, not even a month later, I get this package in the mail from Walter. It has full figure, not a sketch, but inked Beta Ray Bill for Josh, my son, a full inked Thor for me, and then a Thor frog for my wife.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was just like, wow. I
love when that happens, right?
Yeah, don't you love it when that happens?
Yeah. I get surprised sometimes from artists, with a gift or something like that, and it's very appreciated, and it's awesome. I just put the one I had I got from Aaron or Ryan Benjamin. I just put that on my phone. He sent that. An Iceman to me.
Lean it back a little bit, Ken. The top part of it back. Just lean it back. It's awesome. You can't really see it that well, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Brian Benjamin
cool.
just did that. Just did it for Ken. Just threw it in. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. And it's funny because he did Iron Man. Iceman. I must have said something during the show or something about how I like Iceman. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
I'm checking out some Beta Ray Bill reference here just to make sure.
Well, Ken, you should show him your Beta Ray Bill. That's a good reference. Threw it away.
Threw it away. What did you say? No.
See, this piece is the connection between Ken and I. Before we ever even laid eyes on each other, I got him that piece. when we were just corresponding through messages.
Let's see. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. Yeah.
And from that, all this. Look at that.
Nice. Oh, that's killer. So did you get that at like he was doing that for like he'd always do sketches for like Hero Initiative and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's your John Byrne doing the Beta Ray Bill pose. Nice.
Oh, guys, see it. Yeah.
He
Wow.
even wrote on the bottom. He wrote, what do you write? Oh, somewhat after Simonson.
Somewhat after Simonson.
Not even taking credit. Nice. No, I usually Walt does Baltimore every year.
Yes.
And he was at Baltimore in 2019, and it was 19 or 18. I think it was 19, and I was there, and I'd gotten a sketch. I'd gotten a sketch on Monday. On Friday. I'd gotten a sketch on Saturday, and Ken, was just messaging when I was showing these things off in a group, and he was like, "Man, that's my dream to have a Simonson sketch." And I was like, you know what? I already got two. I'm like, it's this guy's dream. Ken had mailed me a book before to get signed for him by Kelly Jones, and then Kelly Jones ended up not showing up, and I had to send it back to him, and it was an omnibus, and it cost him like probably like $60 in
One of those big artist edition books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I'm gonna get this guy's, whatever he wants. And I was like, listen, if you really want it, I'll get in line tomorrow, and if I can get you one, I'll get you one. And he just sent me some money to donate to Heroes Initiative. And I went up and I asked him to do it. And then my dumbass was like, you know what? He always does profiles. I'm like, would you do a front-facing one? He's like, sure. And that's the only front-facing I've ever seen him do of Beta Ray Bill. And it turned out that good. And I was like, son of a bitch.
And I really didn't know Jeff at the time. So, like, he sends me a picture. And I was like, that's fantastic. He goes, yeah, I'm not sending this to you. I was like, oh, no. So okay.
I was joking.
Can I have my $20 back?
Yeah. So I know. I definitely, I was jealous of that I got it for him, but I'm a man of my word, so I sent it to him. And listen, it all worked out. From that, he invited me to something else, and then we got together through that, and we got together to do this. And so nice. Sometimes nice things work out well.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. So you look, it's already gone. I looked. When did they grab it? I had told Colossus X79 that there was a Colossus by John Byrne up on Comic Art Fans. It was not terribly expensive because it was an unused piece for John Byrne's Elsewin. And I thought I looked at it today or yesterday, and it was still up there. But I guess somebody bought it. Because I say, if you want an X-Men piece by John Byrne, I'm telling you, the Elsewin page is the way to go, because you're never going to be able to afford any of the pages from the 70s or 80s.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
So that's my problem, is all the stuff I want is all like, 70s stuff. And that even the 70s stuff that isn't necessarily by big name artists is still a fortune.
Yeah. Just because of the age and it's crazy. Like I said, I mean, that's my problem, is it's not, is all the stuff that I want comes from a time period where everybody's now old enough and has money and can buy it, and it's all just gone through the roof. So, I mean, I've got friends out there, and I got a piece right here. It's something that I got, I didn't pay a whole lot of money for. That's fantastic. And I got it for a really good deal, but it's like, these things are few and far between now. So this is a page from New Mutants.
Let me I'm looking at Beta Ray Bill. Hang on a second here. Oh yeah.
And it's got Dark Child Magic, and then the whole bottom has the whole team. And the best part about this is it's inked and signed by Terry Austin.
Who did the pencils on this?
This is Brett Blevins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's got everybody. You got Cannonball and Warlock and the Wolvesbane, it's got them all, and it's just a really nice. And somebody saw this at a comic book shop, and they were like, "This isn't really my thing, but I know you love that, that stuff from that time period. So do you want it?" And I was like, "How much?" And I'm not gonna say how much I spent for it, but it was like nothing. And I was like, done. I was like, "Buy it." I was like, I'll send you the money right now. And yeah, but like I said, those kinds of things, to find pieces like that aren't, over $1,000 is just few and far between now. So you just gotta, just not. It happens every once in a while. It happens, but
Yeah.
I think the thing is that they looked it up and they couldn't find any frame of reference on what something like that would cost because there weren't any pieces out there. So they asked my buddy. They were just like, how much? They said, is $200 a good price for this? Is $300? Whatever. $400 a good price for this? And he's just like, I mean, I don't know. Sounds fine to me. If he gets, I'll ask somebody if they want it. And then he asked me, and I bought it. And because there wasn't. You don't see that stuff anywhere. I mean, it's not in the wild. It's somewhere.
Yeah, I picked up. I got a page hanging on my wall from Warriors of the Shadow Realm, that Weird World stuff that Buscema inked by Nebrez and colored by Peter Ledger, hand colored on the board.
Oh yeah.
Those Marvel Super Specials. It was 3 of them from 1978, and one of those pages showed up on auction site on Comic Link, and now it's just got the elves and they're the old codger, the character called Mudbutt, who's kind of like, and they're in a restaurant or a pub, but it's hand painted on the page, right? It's not like, so I've got the pencils, inks, and colors on the page, and it was sitting up there, and I thought this is going to go for way over $1,000. Ended up going for like 600 and something, and I was like, I grabbed it. I was like, there's no way I'm not getting this.
Oh yeah, they pop up on eBay every once in a while. But yeah, once again, the thing about it is nowadays you never know how much something's going to go for. I've watched stuff all the way till the end, and it'll triple in price in the last 10 seconds. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I know. You used to be able to gauge, where it was at, and you'd think, I might be able to afford this. Is going to stay around 800 or whatever. Then you get there, and like you said, it goes up $1,000 in like 15 seconds. And you're like, well, I didn't guess right on that.
Yeah.
There was a great page that showed up on. This was when I got out of CrossGen. So this would have been 2004-ish, and I was still in Florida, but working at home because I was working on stuff for Marvel. And I was constantly on eBay, looking for 70s books and stuff because I knew they'd take off, and of course they did, but it took a few years. But so I was buying a lot of 70s stuff, and then some original art would come up, and there was a Nestor Redondo Swamp Thing page came up, and it was one of those dumb things where something came up and I forgot about it, and I missed the end of the auction.
Mm-hmm.
Went for $150.
Oh,
I was just livid that I missed it. And there was another piece that came up. It ended up being out of my price range, but considering what it would probably go for now, it wasn't that bad. But there's a splash page of Tarzan by Sal Buscema, inked by Rudy Nebrez, and it's from the Marvel Tarzan series. And he was sitting on a pteranodon or pterodactyl, whatever, and there's a splash page to the issue, and he had his hands tied behind his back, but he's like flying on the back of this pteranodon, and it's just an absolutely great page. Ended up going for, I think, about $2,500, which was more than I had at the time. But boy, I'll bet it's probably, at least twice that now, if not more.
Yeah. Wow. We had Jim Shooter on last year, and he was sitting. He had a picture of a big. It was big too, maybe 16 by 20, of Captain America full figure by Jack Kirby.
Oof.
So we asked him how did he get it, and he said that back in the mid 80s, he was at San Diego Comic-Con and they were doing a charity auction, and the guy, the auctioneer he didn't even care. He was just like, yeah, this is a piece by this Jack Kirby guy. We'll start the bidding at $100. So he bid on it, and he ended up winning the piece for like $200.
Oh,
And at the end of the auction, he said he brought it over to Jack and he gave it back to him. And he said, "This is a sin. This piece should have never gone for $200 and everything." And Jack was like, "No, you keep it, you keep it." And Jim was like, "No. This is your art. You keep it. Don't ever sell your art this cheap again." So Jack took the piece and he signed it to Jim Shooter, wrote something on it, and handed it back to him. He goes, "Now it's yours." And he's had it ever since. But he said the auctioneer was basically like just dismissing Jack Kirby, like it was nothing. Like, yeah, this doesn't mean anything. We'll start bidding at $100. And
well, what's even worse is that people in the audience didn't even know.
yeah. And he said he has a credit card out. He said he wasn't making a lot of money at the time. He said, but he was willing to pay whatever it took to get that piece. And when it went on for $200, he couldn't believe it.
Well, it's funny. Sometimes that stuff, I mean, it's as years go by, it's less likely anything like that would ever, creep through. But I was at San Diego when I was in Artist Alley, and there was a J.C. Leyendecker book that came out in the 70s, coffee table book, and everybody it was like all the artists wanted it, but it was super expensive. It was, I don't know, $300 or $400 because they hadn't at that point had never reprinted any of Leyendecker's stuff. So if you wanted a book on Leyendecker, you had to get this one. And so the San Diego auction, and Bud Plant donated his copy, or a copy he had, for the auction, the charity auction.
Right.
And I was, I wasn't I didn't have a lot of money at this point, but I was, I was listening to the auction as I was, sketching or whatever I was doing. And then I heard this come up, and I kind of turned up and said, "Boy, I wouldn't mind having that." And then he goes, "Okay, we're going to start the bidding at," it was either $100 or it was $100. And I was, kind of listening, and no one was bidding on it.
Right.
And this is like, this $300 or $400 book, and no one was bidding on it. So finally, I'm sitting in Artist Alley, right? So I'm not even in the crowd, and I'm on one of those plastic chairs, right? Yeah. Folding chairs, and I'm literally jumping up and down on this plastic chair, waving my arms like this at the dude, and he's like, "Oh, you want this?" I said, "Yeah, for $100." And so he looked around, sold, and then I crashed. The chair collapsed on me. Of course, I ended up in a heap, but I got it. And then, no kidding. A couple hours later, David Williams comes up to me, says, "Hey, did you get that Leyendecker book?" And I went, "Yeah." He goes, "I'll give you $150 for it right now." I was like, "No." So, David and I have been, at each other for many, many years.
That's funny. Do you still have
never had the good fortune of being at an art auction and getting a good deal that I couldn't pass up.
Do you still have that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's like 5 Leyendecker books out now, so it's like you can get it's pretty easy to get a good Leyendecker collection without spending any money. But back then, man, that was the thing. Get the Leyendecker book. It's still sitting over there.
I saw you got a pretty cool comic for your birthday from your kid and your wife, right?
Yeah, that was the Iron Man 48, and then a also Man-Thing. What was it? 18 or 19, 21, where Spider-Man, Daredevil, The Thing, and Shang-Chi of all people guest starred. I'm talking about a bizarre crossover. And then it says on the cover, "Because you demanded it." And I'm like, no kid sat around, and a bunch of kids demanded that they team up Spider-Man, Daredevil, The Thing, and Shang-Chi. I don't believe it. Oh.
So the Google Doc's not working, buddy. I'll just send you an invoice tomorrow. That's a good Fantastic Four, right? Shang-Chi, Thing, Spider-Man. Who is it?
Daredevil, yeah.
Daredevil, there you go.
They talk about it like it's just a bizarre team up of characters.
It certainly is.
I mean, you can almost. I mean, I guess with the Thing, he was in 2-in-1, and Spider-Man was in Marvel Team Up, so they were always teaming up with people.
Right.
But so I guess you could maybe argue that, we'll throw Daredevil in there, but Shang-Chi was so far out of left field on that. You would expect maybe like Captain America or,
Well, even
but-
Daredevil is not a team guy.
no.
He's just, but Shang-Chi.
But he did team up with Spider-Man and the Thing in their respective titles, so it wasn't like completely, but it's just, I was just like, how does Shang-Chi fit in with these other dudes? If you did like Shang-Chi, Iron Fist, and, maybe, I guess you could probably throw Luke Cage, maybe that would all sort of connect in a weird way, but it just seemed really odd that, and Shang-Chi. It's like, who are we not using this month? Oh, let's use Shang-Chi.
Let's make the weirdest Fantastic Four we can. So,
Exactly.
Rocket,
The funny thing,
Rocket Raccoon.
yeah, exactly. Well, see, now I actually want to go back and read the comic because I want to find out how in the world did these guys get involved with.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it worked, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. One of my favorite books from the 70s when I was a kid was in Marvel Premiere. They did Legion of Monsters, and it was Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, Morbius, Man-Thing. Yeah, Man-Thing, Morbius, Werewolf by Night, and Ghost Rider. And I thought, and Ghost Rider was like the team leader. I'm like, how in the world do you control Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night?
Yeah, you'd be the spirit of vengeance, I guess.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like even Morbius may not be the most agreeable dude, but at least you could talk to him.
Yeah, exactly. As long as he's not hungry, you're good.
Yeah. So, and it was just a one-issue thing. That book, man, it's like $500 now in near mint condition, which of course I have it in, but it's just like one of those bizarre things that a lot of those monster books from the 70s have sort of taken off in the collector's market.
Do you get your stuff graded?
No, because I'm always disappointed. So I buy graded books, but any books that I have that are raw, I don't send them in to get graded anymore because I always end up pissed off. So
yeah, God forbid you don't get a 9.8.
Well, no, I mean, if you think you've got like I put in a couple Golden Age ones that actually came back about what I thought they would, so I was pleased with that. But I had a book that I or I still have it. Shock suspense story number 13, which has the girl being pushed off the roller coaster. It has the Frank Frazetta story in it.
Okay.
And I bought it like when I bought it in the 80s for, I think I paid $120 for it, $100 for it. And it looks like a 9.0. I mean, it's really, really sharp.
Yeah.
I sent it in and it comes back a 7.5, and I was just livid because they're saying, oh, there's a corner crease. And I still, looking at it, I can't find the corner crease. I'm like, where is this crease that they keep saying, and so that was really ticked me off. And then I found out a book that I had, a 1940s book, had a detached centerfold, which I was unaware of.
Wow.
And that very, that really ticked me off. Although that's not the grader's fault, but still, I don't like getting unpleasant surprises.
Yeah. Especially find out something like that. I was at a show this weekend, and the guy had a Hulk 181.
Oof.
And I asked him, if I could look at it, and the first thing he said to me was, he had coupons clipped out of it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I guess wasn't there something with that coupon? It was something special or something. So a lot of them are clipped.
Well, it depends. I think they're talking probably about the Marvel value stamp.
Yeah, the value stamp. Yeah,
is probably what it is. And a lot of those got clipped out of those 70s books. You have to be real careful with those.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't asking much for it. Consider what I see these books.
How much do you want for it?
$1,500.
With the value stamp clipped out?
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty expensive book, so I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to find one under 5 or 6 now, I think is even impossible.
What do you know? Yeah, I quit collecting Hulk right before that issue, so I'll never forgive myself. So I was buying those off the newsstand, and I just got bored with it and quit buying them. And then, of course, ends up being the first appearance of Wolverine. I'm like, oh my gosh, why could I have not just bought a couple more issues and then got bored?
I was going to ask you that. So is the first appearance of Wolverine in 180 or 181?
Well, the cameo first appearance is 180.
Cameo first appearance. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's what they say, right? That's the 181 is the one everybody pays big bucks for, which is weird because if you look at like the first appearance of Darkseid, right? He has a one panel cameo in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I think it's 138. And that's the one that's worth big bucks, but his full first appearance is Forever People, #1, which I have, and it's not worth anywhere near as much. So it's bizarre how, some people will take the full first appearance as more valuable than the cameo. And then sometimes they'll take the cameo as being the one that's worth the money.
Yeah. Jason, I would take a raw copy, but I can't afford one. So
What's that?
Jason asked me if I wanted a graded one or a raw one. I said I'd take a raw one, and I wouldn't care, but I would never be able to afford one. But
yeah, that's the thing that ticks me off is just there's books I want, but I know I will never be able to afford. So it's just kind of like, what do? You just live with the frustration.
I think the one book that when I was a kid collecting, it was Giant Size X-Men #1.
Oh,
that's probably the one book that if somebody said to me, you can have one book, that would probably be the one I want.
See, I was never an X-Men fan growing up, or because I remember seeing that on the newsstand and not buying it because I just was not into X-Men.
Right.
And of course, if I had any intelligence at all, I would have bought like every copy they had.
Right.
But so it's just they always say collect what you love and you'll never be unhappy. I'm like, that's not true. Because I'm very unhappy that I didn't collect the X-Men. I'm very unhappy that I quit collecting the Hulk, and I stopped buying Daredevil before Miller took over. And
so the rule of thumb is find out what Aaron's reading. When he stops reading it, start buying it.
That's exactly right. I'm just like it's like if you want to know what to invest in, buy what I'm not buying.
Right. Aaron jumps the shark before the shark even shows up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
That's good. Yeah, vote 180. All right, let's hear it in the chat. What was the first appearance of Wolverine? Was it 180 or 181? I say 180. If you go to Marvel and you say what was the first appearance of Wolverine, they say 180.
Well, it is his first appearance because that's where he first appeared.
Yeah, but people, it's a stick. It's a thing. It's a thing.
But it depends on how bad, people obviously want the other issue because he got the cover appearance.
Yeah.
And it's a full appearance.
Yeah.
Well, see, they did the same thing with Warlock. His first appearance was in Fantastic Four 66, I think, 67.
Right.
But the one that's worth, that's worth some money, but the one that's worth a ton is Thor 165 because that's his first full appearance. So, and his first appearance being called Warlock, I think.
Well, yeah, some people just put in a chat there, like a full figure, and then he said his name because it did say "Enter the Wolverine" or something like that in the corner. When that last.
Well, that's true. I don't think they didn't. He was just like lurking in the background of that last panel in 180, but he's still there, right? So it's like you can't say it wasn't.
It's a whole panel of him. and it
Yeah.
says about Wolverine. See if I can find it. Wolverine, Wolverine. Let's see.
I'm back. Sorry, I had to disappear for a minute.
We're just arguing about the first appearance of Wolverine. That's all.
Well, like you know, it's always one of those tricky ones because like I was trying to listen. I was talking about our your 90-year-old mother and my 91-year-old mother. I was putting mine to bed.
That's the last panel. Okay.
Yeah, it's a full picture. It's not like a little tiny corner thing. It's a full page.
Well, that's just it's just a panel. It's not a full page splash. It's just a panel.
It's a full page. Hold on, wait a minute.
No. It's a corner. It's like the last.
It's a corner panel at the end of the issue.
Yeah. Or maybe not. Hold on.
It's a full page. It's not. It's not
a
tiny.
page. I mean,
It's a full splash.
Page.
Well, then how can that not be his first appearance then?
Exactly.
I think that's the.
Here, I'll do you one better. Hold on a second, Ken.
You know what? No, I see other panels in it. Hold on a second. Somebody out there probably got me.
Hold
no,
on.
It's not a full page, but it's a. I would say it's like a 3/4 or almost it's close to a half splash. Here it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a full, but it's a full.
But it's still, yeah. I mean, it's a big shot of him. I don't know how that's not his first appearance.
Yeah. I mean,
it is. But I guess it is in truth a cameo appearance, but.
He even has
weird one.
name.
It's like, yeah.
Here, I'll send you one better. Hold on a second. Ken, here you go. Ken, you can throw this up on the screen when you get it. Here you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I was going to show it to you. I sent you the picture. So the person who won the 4 connecting X-Men #1 covers.
The Jim Lee ones?
Yeah, he just I don't know if he just started a calf or if he just added to a calf gallery, but he also owns that page.
Oh my gosh.
And,
wow.
I just sent it to Ken. You can see the black and white version signed by Herb Trumpy at the bottom.
I'm curious how much that page is worth. I mean,
it's probably it would probably be worth more than that Spider-Man page that just sold, I would imagine.
Without question.
Oh, so if you're sitting on seriously, man, how do you, but see, I look at everything from my perspective. It's like, if I had a piece of artwork that was worth $3 million, it would be sold right now. That money would be in the bank and I would have retirement and I wouldn't have to worry about stuff,
right.
But these people obviously have plenty of money or they wouldn't be buying it in the first place.
Well, this gentleman also has the first appearance of Mary Jane, like the face it tiger, you hit the jackpot.
Oh my gosh.
So this guy's obviously not hurting for money. But yeah, there's the black and white version. You can't obviously it's not very big, but on that thing, but yeah. Yeah, so this guy's got he's got a couple decent pieces,
Yeah.
If those are the only 3 pieces he has, he's he's outdoing most people.
Yeah. And they are definitely not the only 3 pieces he has.
We finally found someone that Scott Williams may be jealous of.
Yeah.
I didn't know Scott Williams is a big art collector, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, huge.
Hey, when you got all those Jim Lee pieces and everybody wants that stuff, you trade it for old vintage stuff. He's got like Barry Smith, Conan stuff, and he's got the entire Muck Monster rights and story from Creepy Magazine.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, didn't you own a Simonson cover?
Yeah, I didn't. I said Simonson's only done 2 X-Men covers. and for Uncanny X-Men, I owned the better of the two, I dare say. Yeah.
I'll bet that Teen Titans X-Men wraparound he did is worth some money.
Yes, that's a gore. That's probably one of my favorite covers all time. It's beautiful. But yeah, that if you're just talking straight Uncanny X-Men, he did one cover with Dazzler and Juggernaut on it, and then he did the cover, which was basically the first Rogue with the X-Men, where Rogue is running away from Colossus and
Oh yeah, that's right. When Rogue first joined,
Nightcrawler and Storm and Shadowcat, and yeah, I owned that cover.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, when I was 17.
Oh, dude.
I know.
Well, you know, the great thing about Walter, or the frustrating thing, is that he doesn't sell any of his artwork, right? So there's very few pieces out there.
Well, once again, things I wish somebody had pointed out to me when I was 17 years old.
Right.
Because I tell you what, the reason why I probably sold that and didn't keep it was because it was missing one X-Men character that probably would have made me keep it, and it was Wolverine. Was not on the cover. Every other X-Men was on that cover, and like I said, it was basically the introduction of Rogue to the X-Men. So it was like and like I said, only one of two Simonson covers that he ever did for Uncanny X-Men. And yeah, I own that one. And like I said, I'd love to tell you some great story about how much money I got for it or what it went. Couldn't even tell you who I sold it to, how much I sold it for, if I traded it for something. Don't even know. It was so long ago.
That's tragically funny.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I have a whole file of stuff in my phone for pages that I used to own that I could actually find pictures of. And funny is not a word I would use to describe it.
Well, I was over here.
Here you go.
I was over this. Oh, go ahead.
I used to own this Frank Miller Daredevil page with the Kingpin.
Oh, that's nice.
Daredevil. Yeah, used to own that page.
But then Miller stood him up in New York and he sold it.
Oh, here you go. Here's my McFarlane Hulk page I used to own.
Oh, that must be worth some bucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to, rub it in or anything, but
yeah, this is a hole I don't want to go down. It's
well, you opened the door, so
yeah. Well, Ken opened the door with the
look at all these tragic pieces of artworks I used to own and now I don't.
Yeah, tears. Now listen,
Jason, it could have a detached cover and crayon marks on it. I'd still take it.
Yeah, listen, Ken just wants one, man. He doesn't care.
I owned a Hulk #1 many years ago.
Like
it was in pretty bad shape because I actually opened it up and looked through it. I had to be very careful because the cover was literally falling apart. And that was
that's a hard book, man.
Back in the 90s, so that thing's probably disintegrated by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I had a Hulk #1. I can say I had one.
Yeah. I had a really nice copy of 102, which was the new beginning of the Hulk, because it was 1 through 6, and then it was.
Yeah, but that's still a gettable book,
Yeah. The one's tough, man. Yeah.
Especially in nice condition. When I saw one like a 9.4 or 9.6, and I was like, how does this even exist?
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's crazy. I got a Hulk #6, the Ditko cover, in a 6.0, and it's really nice. It doesn't have any of the chipping on it, like a lot of those do. That was a book I saw in the price guide when I was a kid. When they, in the cover galleries, they would run back, they still do, in the back of the book. And I saw that cover, and it was so weird looking because, Ditko drawing the Hulk is such a bizarre thing anyway. And so as a kid, I was like, oh, someday I'm going to get that. And I kept thinking, I'll never be able to find one or afford it. And I got one in auction for, again, in Comic Link several years ago for $500, and it was a 6.0, and it's now about 12 or 1400 in that condition. So I got a good deal on it. All righty.
That's
Gonna wrap up Beta Ray Bill here, and okay. So what do I have left to do?
a Timberwolf from Legion. Any iteration you want to do,
Right.
and the last one. I'm sorry, I have to go back now. And the last
Daenerys.
one.
Daenerys.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
Oh,
right.
that's right.
Mother of Dragons.
All right. Beta Ray Bill.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. That's gorgeous.
Okay.
All right, well, Aaron's all done for the night. He's got 2 more he's going to do on his leisure. And thanks everybody who's still with us. Thank you guys for sticking around. I know that once he announced we weren't taking any more names, we took a dive off the diving board there with viewers.
Oh.
We'll
Sorry
have to-
about that. Didn't mean to kill
listen.
your show.
That's all right.
No.
That's all right. You gave us over 2 good hours, so that's all we can ask from anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Coming on again, Aaron.
So
Always
yes,
welcome.
that's everybody. Thank Aaron for joining us tonight. We thank you, sir, very very much. Always
Thank you,
a
guys.
pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
And
We'll get these wrapped up for you, Ken, and get them ready to ship out to you in a couple days, unlike David Williams, who sometimes takes weeks or
I'm
months.
waiting for stuff from David. He keeps telling me, sending me stuff. I haven't seen it.
Not me, man. I'm responsible.
listen,
I get it done and get it out to you.
word to God, Aaron. You are Ken's favorite. Like literally, you pick up your pen off the paper, and Ken's getting the stuff like it's arriving at his front door. It's like I love that guy so much.
Oh, yeah.
And well packaged, too.
Well, Pat. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And then I turn around and get it the hell out just as fast.
There you go. That's the way to do good business, gentlemen.
Yeah, but thank you
All right,
everybody for joining us, and don't go anywhere, Aaron. We're going to do a little backstage for a minute or 2 afterwards.
Sure.
But thanks everybody for joining us, and as always, please get vaccinated. Please get the shot. I want to see you all live, and as of today, you can order some tests. You can get 4 for every household. Order them, get them sent to you, just so you have them if you need them. And have a great night, and thank you guys. We'll see you next week, and we're going to keep trying to have more news to give to you guys. So stay tuned, and remember that February 1st, we're doing the Cartoonist Society charity sketch thing with, and it's going to be great. And please join us for that. And Tom Richmond's going to be here, and he does awesome stuff. He'll even do caricatures if you could send in your picture, and he can draw you in like that mad style caricature. It's pretty freaking cool. So we'll see you all next time, and thank you so much. And as always, thank you to my buddy Ken, and thank you to Aaron, and you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Good night.